I am thankful to Professor Muhammad Atik, Director, UGC MMTTC of the eminent university, Saint Gadge Baba Amravati University. I place on record that Professor Muhammad has been conducting the NEP orientation sensitization programs on a continuous basis without any gap. And he is also trying to find out new topics of great relevance to the faculty. So I appreciate that also. And whenever he invites me with great happiness, I accept because I enjoy exchanging my thoughts to the participants of the NEP OES organized by this university. Friends, to be a good teacher today, all the teachers need three important things. First one is mastery of knowledge in your own discipline and frontier areas, mastery of knowledge, in-depth knowledge. Secondly, mastery of pedagogy, pedagogical practices, methods, practices. Mastery of that also, how to use the right pedagogy. Thirdly, you should be able to integrate ICT, information and communication technology, into the teaching learning process. Today's teachers need to be competent in all these three areas. So in order to be competent in all these three areas, excellent resources today are open educational resources, which have the wealth of knowledge in terms of your disciplinary knowledge, in terms of several pedagogical approaches, in terms of free and open source softwares. So this topic is new to most of you. Therefore, there will be new terms which will be explained very clearly. So I advise all of you to pay total attention to this subject, and you will be able to make appropriate use of open educational resources in your teaching and also research. With this brief introduction to the importance of this topic, I shall proceed with the explanation of the subject with the help of PowerPoint presentation. Sir, are you able to see my screen? Friends, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Open educational resources, a great revolution towards quality education in the world. Indian universities and colleges can be greatly benefited by open educational resources. The acronym is OER. Wide propagation of the use of OER in teaching, learning, assessment, and also research among teachers and students is the need of the hour. Appropriate use of OER can bring in excitement, motivation, and inspiration towards learning, self-learning, lifelong learning, among teachers and students. Development of an interesting online course of good quality is possible by selecting, modifying, and using OER appropriately. You can use OERs in your teaching, learning, assessment, and research. You can also create your new OER for the benefit of others. Both are important. Open educational resources are of great use to bring in excitement and motivation towards learning among students in the classroom teaching. OERs provide the teacher many ideas about modern teaching methods, active learning strategies, and different kinds of assessment strategies in any given course. OERs are great resources to students and staff for self-learning, independent learning, and in-depth learning. OER are very useful in the development of massive open online courses, which we call MOOCs. Massive open online courses, MOOCs, in creating motivation and excitement among the learners, in developing learner-centric MOOCs, which is necessary in outcome-based learning, in formulating course outcomes at higher cognitive levels like apply, analyze, evaluate, and create levels, in using appropriate combination of teaching, learning strategies, providing appropriate learning materials and learning strategies and assessment tests to the students. These are the great benefits of OER. There are 5 different ways of using OER. I shall explain 5 R's of open educational resources. The first one is reuse. The second one is revise the OER and use it. Then remix 2 different OERs, 2 different audio videos, 3 different videos, and then create a new OER and make use of it. And then redistribute whatever OER you have, you distribute among all your students and colleagues. And then retain the copies of OERs. Any kind of OER, whether it's video or printed material or images or photographs, whatever, you can retain with them. So these are called 5 R's of open educational resources. I shall explain once again here. What is the meaning of reuse? To use the content in a wide range of ways. Example, in a classroom, in a study group, on a website, in a video. Revise, adopt, adjust, modify, or alter the content itself. Right? Example, translate the content into another language. You can do that. That is revise. Then remix. Combine the original or revised content with other OER and create something new. Right? So that is remix. Then redistribute. Share copies of the original content. Your revision, your remixes with others. Give an example, give a copy of the content to a friend or to the students. Then retain. Make, own, and control copies of the content. Example, download, duplicate, and store. These are the 5 R's of called 5 R's of open educational resources. Reuse, revise, remix, redistribute, retain. Right. Examples of OERs needed in classroom teaching and developing MOOCs content. Videos, images and photographs, PPTs with animations, PPTs with embedded photographs, flowcharts, databases to give related data, numerical problems, real-world problems. All these you can get from open educational resources. All these for the benefit, effect, to improve upon effectiveness of your teaching, learning, and assessment. Multiple choice questions for self-assessment, that is formative assessment, you can get from open educational resources. Software, free and open source software, which we call FOSS, you can get from OERs. Models for explaining the concepts, case studies for analysis, examples of field studies, virtual labs and experiments, ebooks, other tools for explaining the concepts easily, and self-learning by students. All these are the examples of OERs. Origin of open educational resources movement. It's a big movement going on in the world. David Wiley coined the term open content in the year 1998. OER term was first used at UNESCO's 2002 Forum on the Impact of Open Courseware for Higher Education in Developing Countries. UNESCO conducted in 2002, and in that forum on the impact of open courseware for higher education, the term OER was used first. Then that was in 2002. 1998, first the term open content was used. That means we can say the year 1998 was the year of beginning of the movement of open educational resources. Then, in reality, in practicality, the MIT Open Courseware project, MIT Courseware project is seen as the first recognized OER project in practicality, in reality. Announced on 4th April 2001, carried quite efficiently and successfully by Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. That was on 4th April 2001. NIT Warangal got internet connectivity, LAN connectivity in 2005. So I started using MIT courseware since 2005 itself in my classroom teaching, learning, and assessment. MIT Open Courseware, which is in brief called MIT OCW, publishes all the educational materials from its undergraduate and graduate programs, all the courses online, freely and openly available to anyone, anywhere in the world. All its courses, all the video lectures by the greatest experts, the lecture notes, the assignments, everything is available in MIT Open Courseware, OCW, mitocw.org. You can go to that website, and that is a part of MIT activities, but it is an independent activity organized by MIT with a special separate funding for that. The project uses Creative Commons license. This project uses, MIT Courseware project uses Creative Commons attribution, non-commercial license. That means only for non-commercial purposes, you can use MIT Courseware, the online courses or the video lectures or learning notes, only for non-commercial purposes. That means for your classroom teaching, you can make use of it. But you cannot take them and then incorporate into the book and publish and earn money. That is not allowed. That is commercial purpose. Only for non-commercial purposes you can use. The program, this MIT courseware project program, because it needs millions of dollars, right? The program was originally funded by William and Flora Hallett Foundation. William and Flora Hallett Foundation. That is one foundation. Another foundation, Andrew W. Mellon Foundation. These two foundations initially donated significant amount of money. And MIT used a part of money from its own revenue. That is how this MIT courseware project started, open courseware project started, and it has benefited millions of students and teachers all over the world, especially developing countries, have greatly benefited by this MIT OCW. I was one of the greatest beneficiaries of this MIT OCW. But how long those foundations, William and Flora Hallett Foundation, and initial grant was given, but on a continuous basis, they cannot give the donations. Currently, MIT OpenCourseWare is supported by MIT from its own revenue. A part of revenue, it is earmarking for MIT OpenCourseWare. Then corporate underwriting, that means from corporate social responsibility, they give some donations in general. Major gifts, again from corporates. And also donations from the site visitors. Whoever is making use of MIT OCW. So when I was in service, I was regularly using MIT OCW visiting. I was a regular visitor. Therefore, one day I received a letter from the administration. So you are regularly using it. Why don't you contribute a small amount from our savings? So then I sent, and by the time I retired, right? Because they did not know that I got retired. I got superannuated by that time. So I humbly sent about $125 through bank, right? The initiative inspired a number of other institutions to make their course materials available as open educational resources, right? So this is the MIT OCW website I have given. So the beginning has been made by MIT OCW. Inspired by them, many other institutions have provided the OERs. They have included all the learning materials, different pedagogical approaches in their websites. They have separately created OERs. There are 4 main categories of OER movement. One category is open courseware. That is the first category. It is the digital publication of high quality educational materials that are freely and openly licensed and are available online to anyone, anytime, anywhere. These frequently include course planning and evaluation tool along with the thematic content. They also include MOOCs, massive open online courses. They also include. This is the first one, open courseware. MIT is well known for its open courseware. Subsequently, many other universities started their open courseware. The second category is OER publishers. New opening publishing efforts for textbooks and other OER. This category also includes initiatives geared for developing specific collections of OER, such as the Khan Academy and Saylor Foundation. Whatever published by Khan Academy and Saylor Foundation, they are also collected and available under OER publishers movement. The third category is OER repositories. These range in scope from portals and gateways that provide access to information on OER repositories. Even in many of the libraries, they have OER repositories. And aggregated content resources to institutional repositories. Then fourth one is publicly funded initiatives. The policymakers on the local, state, and national levels are developing policies that encourage the creation and adoption of OER. So there are 4 categories of OER movement. They are going on now all over the world to disseminate the available knowledge, all kinds of knowledge freely to any person, anytime, anywhere in the world without charging anything. Right? So therefore, because of the OER movement, there is no division between rich person and poor person, rich country and poor country. The gap is significantly reduced because of OER movement. Right? Even a poor student in a village, in a remote village, if there is internet facility, he or she can have access to the knowledge, the best knowledge, the quality education around the world. So therefore, this is a great movement, open knowledge movement. So I was thrilled when I tried to make use of the OERs since 2005. Right? I advise many students, many colleagues about the open educational resources since then. A few examples of sources of OER. Sources of OER, just like MIT OCW is the source of OER. So that tops the list, MIT OCW. Then Johns Hopkins University, it also started, inspired by MIT. It also started Johns Hopkins OCW. Then Tufts OCW, Open Learning UK OU, OER Asia, Open Education Europa, Yale Open Courses, Yale University Open Courses, DOAB, DOAJ. NPTEL, National Program on Technology Enabled Learning. This is from India. NPTEL courses, OER is from India. NROER, Spoken Tutorial of IIT Bombay. This is also from India. This OER is from India. Open Education Consortium, OER Consortium, OER Commons, Open Access Textbooks, Open Textbooks British Columbia Campus, Open Textbook University of Minnesota. So many universities, the standard universities in the world, have joined in the OER movement along with MIT. Open Textbook Sunny, Open Stacks College, Sailor, Maryland, Durham, UK, Open Michigan Images, then Images. These are some of the examples of different sources of OER. Sources of OER. You can go to their website and then try to get appropriate OER for your discipline of knowledge. Open educational resources in India. So far, I have discussed what are exactly the meaning of OER, 5 different ways of using OER, 4 categories of movement of OER movement, then origin of OER movement in the world, the significant role played by MIT OpenCourseWare. Subsequently, many universities, best universities in the world, have joined the OER movement, and they have the OpenCourseWare as well as open textbooks. Please don't think the open textbooks, just because they are freely available, don't think they are of substandard. They are of great standard. Because there are people, there are professors in this world right? A good number of professors in the world who want to disseminate knowledge freely and openly to all the learners in the world. There are significant professors, right? Therefore, free and open textbooks. There are many good free and open textbooks which you can recommend in your syllabus curriculum planning. But only thing is, you see whether the language can be understood by the Indian students. That is important. But they can be good reference books for the teachers, no doubt about it. You can get lot of assignment, lot of workload problems, lot of exercise problems in order to make the best use of them to your students. You can modify, you can revise, you can remix, you can redistribute, you can retain, you can reuse all the OERs. You can do whatever you like. Only thing is you have to give acknowledgement to the creator of OER. That's all. Now, I shall discuss the open educational resources in India. India also is producing OERs. For example, NPTEL courses. All of you know very well, NPTEL stands for National Program on Technology-Enabled Learning, NPTEL courses. These include video lectures for different courses by professors from IITs and IISc Bangalore. Lecture notes for different courses. I have made use of the lecture notes when I taught corrosion science for all the BTech students as open elective. I have made use of the lecture notes by Professor Natarajan of IISc Bangalore, who has developed the lecture notes on different corrosion monitoring techniques. So I distributed that lecture notes to all my students. I have made use of that OER. These video lectures and lecture notes can be used by the teacher appropriately in the related courses. You can also advise the students to listen to the video lectures. Right. Then NPTEL online courses. This is the website for NPTEL online courses. These are developed by faculty members from IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, IIT Guwahati, IIT Roorkee, and IISc Bangalore. Online courses. NPTEL also develops online courses in different disciplines. For example, I have developed an online course in a project by NMETTC, National Mission on Education in Communication, Integrating Communication Technology, right? NMEICT. Under that mission, IIT Kharagpur has got a project. In that project, I have developed an online course for first BTech Chemistry 2 course. So that is available now in online. So then you have also OER in the form of SWAYAM courses. When you mean SWAYAM, study webs of active learning for young aspirant minds, that is the meaning of SWAYAM, full form of SWAYAM. This is a program of Government of India. This is an indigenous platform that facilitates hosting online courses taught in classrooms from 9th standard till post-graduation. All the courses are interactive, highly interactive, prepared by the best teachers in the country. More than 1,000 specially chosen teachers have developed these courses, online courses. The courses based in SWAYAM are in 4 quadrants. Please note these points, sir. Very important. How do we say that SWAYAM courses are highly interactive? Because in one quadrant, there is a video lecture. The students can watch the video lecture given in very great detail. prepared by the best professors in the country. Then specially prepared reading material also is available. Just like the material is available in your textbook, they prepare specially material for downloading and printing. Then the students can read that material. The video lecture and the specially prepared reading material, they're all developed in self-learning mode. That is important. Self-learning mode. Then it discusses the prerequisite knowledge also, and the students can understand by themselves. Self-learning mode. That is important. Right, sir? Then in the third quadrant, you have, after watching the video, after reading the specially prepared material, the students can take the self-assessment test. If they have done well in the self-assessment test, that is wonderful. That means they have achieved the learning outcomes up to that concept. Suppose if they have not able to do that test, then they can go through the video again, read the material once again, be thorough, and appear for the test again. Right? Then fourth quadrant, most important, is online discussion forum. So in this online discussion forum, the students, if they have any doubt, they will put it in the online discussion forum. Some other student may answer that. Based on that answer, some other student may put another question. Suppose this online course is registered by 1,000 students. The SWAYAM course is registered by 1,000 students. That means 1,000 students participate in the discussion as long as the course is offered. Sometimes the questions may not be answered by any student. Then the teacher can intervene. Sometimes the teacher may not be able to answer. Some of the students may be able to answer. So it's a great experience. You advise your students to register for online courses organized by available in SWAYAM. UGC has given some credits. If the students earn some credits through SWAYAM courses, they are added to their list of credits, right, to an extent, to some percentage. So some SWAYAM courses you can also register. Even the teachers also can register when you want to learn something new, some new courses. Even some courses you want to teach in the next semester, and they are offered in this semester in SWAYAM courses. You can go through the SWAYAM courses. You will be greatly benefited, I am telling you. I have undergone a 12-week FDP, online FDP, 12-week FDP organized by IIT Bombay after my retirement. I was greatly benefited. That was on pedagogy. So I used to do lots of assignments. We have to submit by night 11:59 p.m. Before that, we had to submit the assignments. Right? So it was a great learning experience to me as teacher. So you can also register under relevant courses. SWAYAM courses are useful for both the teachers and students as well. Then you have SWAYAM Prabha. It's a group of 32 DTH channels devoted to telecasting of high-quality educational programs on 24/7 basis using GSAT 15 satellite. So I have given the website, SWAYAM Prabha website here. The home page gives a list of channels among which you can choose the channels related to that subject. You can advise the students based on that information. You watch that video lecture, that will be of great use. For example, channels 1 to 10 video lectures developed by Consortium of Educational Communication of UGC for some subjects. Channels 11 to 18 and 30 video lectures developed by NPTEL for some subjects. Channel 29 video lectures developed by Quality Enhancement in Engineering Education, IIT Madras, exclusively for IIT Madras. Channels 23 to 26 video lectures developed by IGNO for some subjects. 19 to 22 video lectures developed by IIT PAL. IIT PAL means IIT Professors Assisted Learning for Maths, Physics, Chemistry and Biology. It is useful for the 11th class students and 12th class students. If any of your children or brothers or sisters, they are appearing for 11th or 12th class, then you can advise them to watch the video lectures, channels 19 to 22, very useful, developed by professors from IITs. Channels 27 to 28, video lectures developed by National Institute of Open Schooling. Channel 31, video lectures developed by NCERT. Channel 32, video lectures developed by IGNO and National Institute of Open Schooling. These SWAYAM video lectures also are very useful to all the students as well as teachers. SWAYAM courses are very useful. SWAYAM Prabha video lectures are also very useful. NPTEL courses are very useful. Spoken tutorial of IIT Bombay also very useful, right? So spoken tutorial of IIT Bombay, NPTEL, then SWAYAM courses, SWAYAM Prabha. These four are very important sources of OER, in the OER movement for the great benefit of the students and teachers in the country. Examples of now, you see, my dear friends, there are commercial software, very costly. For example, Mathematica, very expensive. But alternate you have free and open source software, fast. MATLAB, very expensive commercial software for material science and engineering and chemistry, physics, all. MATLAB is even electronics. They can make use of MATLAB, but very expensive commercial software. AutoCAD, very expensive commercial software. Microsoft, that's also commercial software. But here you have free and open educational, open source softwares, FOSS. The acronym is FOSS, FOSS, free and open source softwares. In teaching and learning process, for every discipline of knowledge, you have free and open source software, sir. For teaching purpose, you can make the best use of free and open source softwares. You need not spend lakhs of rupees for commercial softwares. This is going on as a movement all over the world. For example, R programming. It can be used by computer science and engineering, mathematics, civil engineering, statistics students, even social science students. Students can also make use of this R programming for statistical analysis. It's a free software programming language and software environment for statistical computing and graphics. The R language is popular among data miners for developing statistical software and data analysis. Besides data mining, it also provides statistical and graphical techniques, linear and nonlinear modeling, classical statistical tests, time series analysis, classification, clustering, and many more. My dear friends, in India itself, spoken tutorial of IIT Bombay is organizing courses on R programming very frequently. You can advise your students to those courses, very useful courses on R programming. Then a few other open source tools. TensorFlow, is a free and open source software library for data flow and differentiable programming across a range of tasks. It is a symbolic math library and is also used for machine learning applications such as neural networks. Maxima, symbolic computation environment, open source software similar to Mathematica. Don't purchase Mathematica. Use Maxima. I have given the website here. Or use Python. Python is also a general purpose programming language supporting object-oriented and structural programming. Very useful for all the branches of engineering and mathematics. It is a free, simple to use and implement and well-structured and equally useful for non-numerical as well as for numerical applications. A first course on numerical methods prefers using Python as a tool for implementing and testing the algorithms over an alternatives such as MATLAB. Instead of MATLAB, you can use Python. Instead of MATLAB, you can use Scilab. Scilab also is an open source. Learning engineering maths using Python tool is an example of learning by doing, the best active learning strategy. Teacher teaches how to learn a topic of engineering maths using Python tool and demonstrates the same through hands-on experience by students. Then he or she gives assignments, problems, mini projects, group-wise to students. Initially, students may commit mistakes, clear doubts through peer interaction and learn. Discussions take place later in the classroom, leading to in-depth learning. In this example of learning engineering maths, Python tool is also a guru, a teacher. Teacher-student ratio is 1:1, which leads to the most effective experience learning and learning at higher cognitive levels of the course outcomes. It is suggested that the real teacher designs the real-world application problems or mini projects to be solved by the students using Python programming. That will be great learning experience to the teacher also. Use of free and open source software in geotechnology. Adonis, it's a free finite element program for geotechnical engineers. Geotechnical engineering software package in R also is available. SV Slope is a slope stability analysis program developed by Soil Vision Systems Limited. The software is designed to analyze slopes using both the classic method of slices as well as new stress-based methods. The program is used in the field of civil engineering to analyze levees, earth dams, natural slopes, tailings, heap leach piles, waste rock piles, and anywhere there is a concern for mass wasting. Then Genome Tools. Genome Tools is an open source software for the analysis of genome and biological parameters. It has a free library of tools for bioinformatics. Working with BioPython for microbiology. Very, very useful, sir. BioPython provides the set of tools and libraries for the analysis and computation of biological structures. It is available for free and open source distribution and is promoted by Open Bioinformatics Foundation, OBF. It can parse the files of bioinformatics into the data structures that can be processed by the Python code. Free and open source tools for blind students. My dear friends, even the blind student should not have any disadvantage when compared to the other students. They should be able to learn at par with any other student. So you have free and open source software for blind students also, which you can provide in classroom teaching itself, so that there is no disadvantage for them. They will be able to understand at par with other students in the classroom. Even if one blind student is there, you need not purchase expensive software. expensive tools, free and open source tools are available. The other day, when I was discussing the inclusive education for blind students, then one participant asked me whether there are any free and open source tools for blind students, because colleges cannot spend for one blind student the entire equipment. Then I searched for the free and open source tools, and they are available. Essential software is a screen reader needs that essential software. A screen reader is an essential piece of software for a blind or visually impaired person. Simply put, a screen reader transmits whatever text is displayed on the computer screen into a form that is visually impaired, that a visually impaired user can process. Usually tactile. Tactile means by touching. By touching, they can understand. Auditory, that means by listening in the form of a speech, it is converted into speech, they can understand. Or a combination of both. Touching and also listening, auditory, listening to the speech. So whatever text that is available, because of the software, that is converted into some form, either by touch or by listening to the speech, the students can learn very comfortably, right? There is no disadvantage to the students. Whilst most screen readers work by having a synthetic voice that reads text aloud, others can also communicate data via refreshable braille display. Very important, because the blind students already are acquainted with the braille display. Such screen readers allow visually impaired users to use their fingers to read the text that is displayed on the screen, because that is the braille display. But while screen reading software can be affordable, such hardware is usually very expensive. Free software makes universal access a reality. Many people could not afford the expensive price tag associated with some of the more sophisticated screen readers. Luckily for them, there are several screen reading software that are completely free. The following is a list of a few free screen readers that can be downloaded and used. NVDA, this is based on the Windows system. NVDA has been designed by a blind software engineering graduates, James Tech, for use with Windows computers. This free and open source screen reader has a synthetic voice that reads whatever the cursor hovers over and can be used directly from a USB stick, making it ideal for the students. Then the second example, Serotech System Access, that is also operated on Windows. This downloadable and complete screen reader can be used even outside your browser, thus making it one of the quickest ways of getting a screen reader up and running on your system. Then you have Web Anywhere. It can be used with all operating systems and web browsers. Web Anywhere is a web-based screen reader for the web. It requires no special software to be installed on the client machine, and therefore enables blind people to access the web from any computer they happen to have access to that has a sound card. That is enough. Then fourth example is Spoken Web with Internal Explorer. Spoken Web is a web portal managing a wide range of online data intensive content like news updates, weather, travel, and business articles for computer users who are blind or visually impaired. Using the keyboard to navigate, a person who is blind can hear the full range of an article content provided in a logical, clear, and understandable manner. So by the use of free and open source tools, the blind students will not be at any disadvantage. I am giving you an example. Because of the congenial environment and the tools available to the blind students in University of Hyderabad, one girl student in MBA program, blind girl student, topped the list, got the gold medal, first rank in competition with other regular students, right? She competed because of the congenial environment in the classroom and also in the hostels in the University of Hyderabad. That is one of the best examples I can give. If we provide congenial environment and special tools now freely available, the blind students do not have any disadvantage. They can compete with any other student and their self-efficacy is improved. This free and open source movement now is able to reduce the gap between differently able students and the healthy students. There is no gap now because of the free and open educational resources. Otherwise, many colleges may hesitate to purchase the special equipment for the sake of just one student or two students in the classroom. So sometimes they do not give even admission. Because of this free and open source software, this inclusiveness is improved in colleges and universities. That is very important. Inclusiveness is most important, sir. You can make your own video and make it as SYR. It is very easy. How I learned this? I learned this in my online course conducted by IIT Bombay. So I have made 2 videos on my own. They have taught us how to make, and it was an assignment for us. We have to make 2 videos and submit within 1 week time. So I have to make several rehearsals in making the best use of the tool they have taught me. The tool is Screencast-O-Matic is the tool, free and open source tool. Today its name is ScreenPal. Its name is changed as ScreenPal. Up to it is free. You don't have to charge. They don't charge anything. Beyond 15 minutes, they will charge. But any educational video, 15 minutes is good enough. Several studies suggest that you have the video between not more than 15 minutes because the student's learning span, attention span is so less that if it is more than 15 minutes, they get bored. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, even in the classroom. When you want to motivate them, even 2 minutes video is good enough. That is the best video, 2 minutes video to create motivation. To give an assignment, a 5 minutes video is good enough. Watch this video and answer the following questions. Right? So 15 minutes is a good length. So my videos were only 10 minutes was one video and 12 minutes was another video. And there were, though it was my first attempt, there were several viewers of my videos on corrosion. Galvanic corrosion was one video. Corrosion due to differential aeration cells is another video. Example, corrosion due to differential aeration cells. The link is given below. This is an OER in chemistry used by the students of first BTech and the faculty teaching chemistry in first BTech. Or if there is in BSc electrochemistry or corrosion is there, it's useful. Now in 10th class, there is corrosion. Even for those students also, these 2 videos are useful. How did I make this video? Very comfortably. The process. First, you have to prepare the content, script. Most important is the script, sir. You should always prepare the video in self-learning mode. Content should be in the self-learning mode. Okay? You should make it very, very simple, but not reduce the standard. So you have to make use of the diagrams, photographs, and also script in the form of PPT. PPT with good font size, incorporate the diagrams, incorporate the photographs, incorporate the explanation. All, if you are good in adding animation, excellent. Animation is excellent. You can get photos from OERs, right? You can also get some videos as OERs. You can take some small part of that content and mix it in your video, in your OER also. That's the first step. Make the PPT. Then use Screencast-O-Matic tool for recording video with PPT and my explanation, both audio and video. The PPT is shown and then I am visible. My explanation is also heard. Now the tool name is ScreenPal. Please note that point. It is self-explanatory. You can try by yourself, right? You click ScreenPal, so you will get launch now. First of all, you download that ScreenPal app on your computer. Then get ready your PPT. Keep the PPT open. Then click on ScreenPal. Then ScreenPal that is opened. Then you click it launch. Then it is launched. It will be displayed launched. Then there will be icons there, recording. Then save like that. REC is for recording. Click on REC. Then you will get 3, 2, 1 ready. When it shows ready, then you start your explanation. So you are not comfortable with your explanation. Then there is an option for delete the entire video and re-record. That option is also there. So you press that and again go back. Like that, I have made that rehearsals 5 to 6 times, first time, right? Even today, I make several OERs in the form of videos. At least 2 to 3 rehearsals I need to make before the finalized one is published as OER in YouTube, okay? So this is how you can make your own OER for the benefit of the students and for the benefit of others. And you can publish in YouTube, free and open. Then I have discussed now so far open educational resources, free and open source softwares. How you can make your own video very comfortably, very easily. You don't need anybody's help. You can have your own channel and publish it in YouTube. Only thing is sometimes you may need the help of editing, video editing. For that also free and open source software is there for video editing. You can take that help and then edit yourself. You don't have to depend on anybody. That freedom, that independence can make you very comfortable in making your own videos. Then we have got OERs. We have developed open educational resources. It is better after we get the open educational resources, then you go for free and open licensing system. Free and open licensing system. Even for the articles or anything. If you go for copyright, then it is against the open movement, free and open movement. Copyright means You are the author. Nobody can use it unless they take your permission, and there will be charges for that. So in order to make it a free movement, free and open movement, there is one license available that is called Creative Commons licenses for open educational resources. So once you understand free and open educational resources, you should also understand what is this Creative Commons licenses. How do we make use of Creative Commons licenses? What are the examples? I shall discuss now. Creative Commons is a non-profit organization, just like the OERs I have explained. This is also non-profit organization. So I forgot to give the examples, like Wikipedia is a OER, source of OER. Wikimedia is source of OER. They also are non-profit organizations. They also depend upon philanthropic contributions, right? But extensively used, Wikimedia and Wikipedia. All of you must have used Wikimedia and Wikipedia. Creative Commons is a non-profit organization that helps overcome legal obstacles to the sharing of knowledge and creativity to address the world's pressing challenges. The organization provides Creative Commons licenses and public domain tools. Please note this point. This organization also developed technology like CC Search that makes openly licensed material easier to discover. You go for the search engine, you can get all the open educational resources licensed by Creative Commons license. Once they are licensed under Creative Commons licensing, you can freely use them. Only thing is you have to acknowledge, you have to give credit to the creator of the OER. That's all. So which kind of works can be licensed under Creative Commons licensing? Blog posts can be licensed. Photos, pictures, images, drawings can be licensed. Artworks can be licensed. Library articles, literary articles, scientific articles can be licensed. Open education content can be licensed. Videos can be licensed. Audios can be licensed. Which cannot be licensed under Creative Commons licenses. You should note this also. Patents cannot be licensed. For patents under Indian Patent Act, you have to get registered under that, right? Patent, once it is patent, it is not free and open movement. It is against free and open movement. Therefore, patents cannot be registered under Creative Commons license. Trademarks cannot be registered. Industrial designs cannot be registered. Software cannot be registered under Creative Commons license. Please note this point. Then you may ask me immediately a question. Sir, when software cannot be registered,
सगळं एकत्र काय झालं सरांनी तिथे म्हटलं
then what is the use of Creative Commons licensing? What is the use of Creative
सांगू का नाही झालं काय सगळेजण एवढे हेक्टिक कामात बिझी झाले सगळे ना मी आय कॅन अंडरस्टँड
प्लीज म्यूट युअर माइक प्लीज
नाही येत बरं तू मी नाव लिहिले सगळ्यांच्या रूमवर मला माहित नव्हतं ना फोन करणार आहे मी एमटीएसला आता रिप्लेसमेंट मध्ये सांगतो
You have GNU General Public License version 3. So by this you can get license for the software. And you cannot register under Creative Commons license. But how can you do that under GNU General Public License version 3? This is the latest version of GNU GPL, a free software license and a copyleft license. This is recommended for most software packages. all free and open source softwares. So let us compare these two, Creative Commons license and copyright. Creative Commons license is free and open to all, whereas copyright is rights to the creator. So these two are opposite to each other. Creative Commons license supports free and open movement. Copyright is against free dissemination of knowledge. Creative Commons license, attribution is enough. No permission needed from the creator. Whereas copyright, even for small figure or data, permission is needed from the creator. Why should we get license of our work under Creative Commons license? To get credit for our work and contribution, as the user of our work has to give attribution to the creator of the work. You see, you have done so much work, you need credit. You need recognition, social recognition. That is one point. There is another equally important point. Not to allow somebody to steal our work and register it under Copyright Act. Right? You see, if you do not register under Creative Commons license, what happens? You have done the work and somebody will steal your work and register under Copyright Act, then what is happening? It suppresses the copy left movement and open education movement. Therefore, it is better either you put it under Creative Commons license or put it in YouTube, right? So that if anybody steals it, there is an evidence. You can sue them. Therefore, they will not steal it, right? But better you register under Creative Commons licensing as far as possible. So now we have, these are the symbols used in Creative Commons licensing. This is CC BY, this wheel, Creative Commons, CC, it stands CC, then BY. It is the most simplest. You simply acknowledge the author, that's all. This symbol is used for non-commercial, NC, the circle, and then epsilon, and then a cross, an oblique. This symbol is used for NC, that means non-commercial. A circle and is equal to in between, in the middle, that symbol is used for ND, no derivatives. No, you cannot modify. And this symbol is used for share alike. These are the 4 symbols used. I shall explain that there are 6 different types of licenses. CC BY, this is one type of license. You have to give only acknowledgement. You can reuse, distribute, remix, repurpose, even commercially also you can use. Only thing is give appropriate credit. Then the next license is CC BY SA. The second one is CC BY SA. That means reuse, distribute, remix, repurpose, even commercially. But when you modify, right? When you modify and create new one, you must register it under the same license as the original author. That is the meaning of share alike. Then the third one, CC BY ND. ND means no derivatives. You can use commercially also, redistribute, reuse, everything. But you should not modify the video. You should not modify the image. You should not modify the article. That is the meaning, no derivatives. CC BY NC. You can reuse it, distribute it, but only non-commercially. Non-commercially. CC BY NC SA. Non-commercially and then share alike. That means if you modify it, modification is allowed, but if you modify it, you have to register under the original license. Then CC by NC, ND. So non-commercial only and no modification is allowed. No derivatives. ND means no derivatives. NC means not commercial, not to modify the material. So these are the 6 licenses. CC by is the most open license. Then CC by NCA. Then CC by NCND, least open, non-commercial, no derivatives, least open license. However, you can make use of them for non-commercial purposes, all of them licenses, non-commercial purposes, some of them even for commercial purposes, some of them most open, you modify it, do anything, you credit to the author, that's all. CC by, that is the most open Creative Commons license. Searching OERs available under Creative Commons license. This is the website, ccsearch.creativecommons.org. A new Creative Commons search tool to find out the available free resources, OERs, for use in development of MOOCs content. You can get the available OERs along with the Creative Commons license. As per the CC license, you have to make use of that OER. If it is CC by, you modify. If CC by ND, no derivatives. You cannot modify. If CC by NC is there, you cannot use for commercial purposes. So that symbol will be there beneath every OER. Okay, for example, here. Video on the title, An Introduction to Open Educational Resources by Ebbe Elder, December 13, 2017, it is created. It is licensed under CC BY. It is licensed under CC BY. That is the simplest license. Then what are the terms? You have to give credit to the author. That's all. You can modify the video. You can modify this video. You can use the modified video for commercial purposes also. You can use the same video for commercial purposes also. You can get the Creative Commons license of different kind for the modified video. So anything you can do it because this is licensed under CC BY 4.0 version, international license. Then I have all the courses, video lectures, assignments that are available under MIT OpenCourseware are licensed under Creative Commons license CC BY NC SA. That means MIT OpenCourseware, you can use OERs, you can use only for non-commercial purposes. If you modify them, you have to give again register under Creative Commons license of the original. You cannot put it on your name. So CC BY NC SA, under this license, the entire MIT OpenCourseware are licensed. Then this is the image. Open educational resources, the education ecosystem comes to life. This image is created by OpenCourseware and the image is licensed under CC BY SA. That image is licensed under CC BY SA. So you can make use freely, commercially also, no issue. But the only thing is, if you modify this, you have to register again under the original license. Right? You cannot register under your name. Then this is Flickr image. This is Flickr image. The license CC BY ND. CC BY ND license. This one. ND means no derivatives. You should not modify. You can make use of it even for commercial purposes, but you should not modify the image. Then this is Xerophyte plant image by Flickr. CC BY NC ND. NC non-commercial purpose. ND no derivation, no derivatives. That means no modification is allowed. Xerophyte as it is, you have to make use in the class. Even for commercial purposes also, if you write a book, you can publish this photograph, but you give the attribution to the author. Example of an article licensed under Creative Commons license. An article, Improving Presentation Style, published by the Teaching Center, University of Washington in St. Louis. It is licensed under CC, NC&D, non-commercial purposes only, and no derivatives. You should not modify the article. So I have shown you the examples and then how they are licensed. So as they are licensed, you have to strictly follow. Otherwise, they will sue you in the court of law. An important notes, giving attributions appropriately when we make use of any OER is mandatory. We must give the credit by duly acknowledging the author, the creator. We must strictly follow the terms and conditions of different kinds of CC licenses. Many OERs are kept in public domain without any licensing. Example, YouTube, journal articles, open access journal articles, etc. There may be useful OERs in this category also, which can be made use of in the development of MOOCs by duly acknowledging the creator of that OER. Licensing the OER developed by you under Creative Commons license. How do we do it? Develop interesting and useful OER, totally original, or by mixing some of the available OERs under CC by license, preferably to your original work. Then make sure that your work is copyrightable. Make sure that you have the rights on the work. Make sure how Creative Commons license operates. Be specific that you are licensing. Make what you are licensing. Make sure that your institution allows you to license your work under Creative Commons license. Select your license. This is the website for selecting the license. This website will guide you to select your license and ultimately obtain license you sought for. So MOOCs courses, OERs, Creative Commons licenses. MOOCs courses in developing, great role of OERs and Creative Commons license. Any MOOCs course is developed in 4 quadrants model. Examples, SWAYAM courses, video lecture, text matter, self-assessment questions, discussion forum. In all the above, there is role of appropriate use of OERs. You can make the best MOOCs course by using the appropriate OERs. Selection of appropriate open education source. This is the key to development of MOOCs courses. Besides the creativity in story building on the subject, coherence, language, style, and learner-centric teaching, learning, and assessment methods. Making your own OERs for use by others. Here also a lot of command and depth in the subject knowledge, creativity and expertise in using a given learning management system and integrating ICT tools play a vital role. So these are I have developed several in my channel. There are 51 videos in my channel. My channel name is Professor B.B. Apparao. So about 46 are developed by me and 5 OERs are developed by my wife. She also is also an educationist. So 46 videos are developed by me. Out of them, about 34 related to pedagogy and education, and 32 and about 14 videos related to chemistry, right? So the 32 videos related to pedagogy I have given here as examples, and this PPT will be shared with all of you. I have already shared with the organizers. So all learning through experience, how to the Socratic method, constructivist approach, rubrics for projects, teacher-student relationship, how to set good multiple choice questions. Is there any real role of reward and punishment in learning? I don't believe in reward and punishment. Guidance, counseling, and mentoring, motivational learning, part 1 and part 2. Bloom's taxonomy of learning levels, part 1, part 2, part 3. Holistic education and secular spirituality, holistic education, integration of human values, games and sports, etc. So multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary education, academic audit and quality assurance, open educational resources and Creative Commons licenses, part 1, part 2, open educational resources in India, learning science in school education, intuitive learning, mapping course outcomes with program outcomes, calculation of attainment of COs and POs, pursuing 2 academic programs simultaneously, suggestions to students. Conclusion. OER are extremely useful in teaching and learning any course, whether in contact mode or online mode. Learner-centric MOOCs are welcome at all levels of education. These promote learning at higher cognitive levels. Learner-centric MOOCs, which make the best use of OERs, are better than the courses in contact mode by poor teachers who demotivate students and kill their interest in learning. See, this is a very bold statement I have made here. Learner-centric MOOCs, the best MOOCs, are better than the content delivered by poor teachers because they demotivate the students and kill their interest in learning. OER, MOOCs, Creative Commons license continue to impact educational system at all levels, and the future higher education will be a blend of MOOCs and contact courses. The direction is clear and must be welcome. Thank you very much. And questions, please. You can ask me questions now. Any questions? Questions, please. This is question answer session now. Questions, please. Dear friends, still we have left with 5 more minutes. Questions, please. Hello? Hello, dear friends. Questions, please. Questions, please. Hello, questions, please. Any questions? Questions, please. Hello? Questions, please. Mr. Avinash Mohali, do you have any questions?
Sir, I am the resource person of next session, sir.
Next session. Okay.
I couldn't listen to you. Sorry.
Okay. So because I always keep some time for questions.
Absolutely, it is necessary.
Yeah. Dear friends, questions please. Till we have 1 more minute time. Any questions? So then organizers may kindly wind up the session. What is your topic, sir?
Skill development, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so Maureen sir, shall we continue, sir, if you could permit?
You can thank
Sir,
Dr. Venkata.
You can close the session.
Sir, yeah. So on behalf of Malvi Mission Teacher Training Centers and Garge Baba Amravati University and Professor Ram Meghe Institute of Technology and Research, an autonomous institution, I extend my sincere thanks to Professor Apparao sir for being with us, enlighten us, and given us the roadmap to how to utilize these open educational resources and how to make the scholarly publications using the common creative license. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And friends, we will be moving towards the next session. For the today's session, we have with us a very great, eminent, and dynamic personality.
Ankit?
Yes, sir.
Can we have 5 minutes break?
Yeah, sir. If you could.
Just 5 minutes break, give the participant.
Sir.
After 5 minutes, we can start. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. So participants, after 5 minutes, we will reassemble and sharp 4:10 we will start.
Yes, Ankit, we can start.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. So, good afternoon, one and all. I gathered in this virtual platform for this flagship program. We are continuing with our second session. Uh, and for delivering this session, today we have with us a very great, eminent and scholarly personality, Professor Avinash Mohril, sir. Sir, warm welcome in behalf of the Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, Sir Garge Baba Amravati University, and Professor Ram Meghe Institute of Technology and Research. Sir, we have launched this program in collaboration with the Professor Ram Meghe Institute of Technology and Research for the mutual beneficiaries of the both institute. Friends, you know that the national education policy has placed more emphasis on this component, that is specific component of this skill development. And today we are going to discuss with the modalities of the skill development and its integration in our curricula. You know that since last 2 or 3 years we are drafting our syllabus, and every kind of course of the program we have provided the weightage of the skill development to that program. So sir will enlighten on this topic, that is skill development. Professor Mohril sir is at present serving his duties as a principal at Mahila Mahavidyalaya Amravati, that is one of the top leading institution affiliated to the Sant Garge Baba Amravati University. Sir has more than 2 decades of teaching as well as the research experience in this field of higher education. Friends, sir is basically belonging to the subject of English, Faculty of Humanities, and sir was the former dean of our university. And when we are starting the implementation of this national education policy, sir has played a very crucial role. And we have taken under his able leadership, we have started this implementation of this national education policy. So sir has very vast concept with this particular topic, not only this topic, also with the national, all the entire national education policy, whatever the public document, whatever the documents has been available in the public domain. So I will not take much more time, sir. I will again extend my warm welcome to you and request you to start with your session. So please.
Thank you, Ankit. Am I audible properly?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm very happy to be part of this flagship program organized by MMTTC, Santa Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati, and that too in collaboration with one of the reputed institutes in our area, that is Professor Ram Meghe Institute of Research and Technology. I heartily welcome all the professors who belong to this institution, and also the some of the other professors who must have joined in this particular session. Today, I am very happy to discuss certain important things related to skill development with all of you. I'm also very happy that I shall be speaking with the professors of such institute, which is recently has been declared as autonomous institute. And this particular status of your college makes me feel very happy in a way that the topic which I'm going to discuss and all the necessary ingredients of that topic, I think that you have achieved one step ahead than other institutes, because being autonomous, now you have got the control over your own curriculum design. Because when national education policy started, when it entered into our institution, and globally, I'm saying globally, when the new innovations started taking up into education field, then autonomy is playing an important role, because the usual procedures of university and the curriculum design processes which are established in the university do take much time to get executed. Now, I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but this is something which we need to take care. And that is why when I see that the institute like yours has acquired the autonomy, so it is very much easy for you that you should go with the changes which are expected in accordance with national education policy. I guess that all the participants are from the institute and other institutes. So I wish to keep my medium of language, Hindi and English, so that we can have a dialogue. And as the earlier resource person was saying, I will also keep some time at the end to have some discussion about this particular topic. Two more instructions I would like to give you all. Number one, those who are only those who are able to keep their videos on, they can keep their videos on, or otherwise keep them off itself. Because I have got one very bad experience about this kind of online lecture, and usually I discuss it with all. That, one of the lectures I was delivering in one of the very big universities located in South India, and the lecture was going online, and one of the lady teachers, she kept her phone's video on and then walked into a mall for some purchasing. So throughout my lecture, she was going with the purchasing process, and then I could see every object which was kept in the mall. So it looked very bad, and that is why I request all of you that those who are able to keep your your videos on, they can keep. Otherwise, keep them off, so that I may assume that all of you are listening to me. The second thing is that now we are meeting virtually, so that is why sometimes there may be a technical glitch on your part, sometimes it may be on my part also. So if my connection gets disconnected, then don't be patient. I have some alternative arrangements with me, so I will join immediately, and then we will continue with the thought. I have prepared a presentation for you, and I wish to share that presentation with all of you. So let us go with the topic, skill development. Now, this is a very important topic with respect to the modern education system, which now we have started implementing. There are various aspects which I'm going to discuss, and I would like to get your opinions about them also. Because as it was rightly said by Ankit, that when national education policy was at our doorstep in the university, I was working as a Dean Faculty of Humanities. And that is why I was in the initial process of implementation of all these things. And that is why I knew that there may be some difficulties, there may be some issues, there may be some problems in overall implementation of the whole process. But now I feel that we are now getting acclimatized with the every process. We are known with the process, and that is why now time has come to think about the proper utility of this national education policy, because there is no alternative. As it was also told in my biodata by Ankit, that I had spent almost 27 years in this higher education. And I could see, I can affirm you that the thought process which I had undertaken, I have come to the conclusion that without implementation of national education policy, there cannot be the revival of our education system. There cannot be, because sometime or the other, some of you may have got good experience of teaching, and in the not only in professional colleges but in the traditional colleges, like where I am working as a principal, at the end of the day, we had started thinking in a way that what exactly we are giving to our students. One more thing I would like to clear here, that some 72 odd teachers have joined in this particular group, and I really love to speak with teachers, because we are spending time in these sessions, we are learning something, we are discussing something. It is because of one single fact. I consider it is not just attending the class, attending the session. Whatever we are going to get is to be utilized for the development of our students, because they are the most important stakeholders in this system. And now they had started asking these questions, not directly, but with their behavior, they had started asking these questions, that what exactly we are going to get in our college. If I'm seeking admission to an engineering college and I'm investing my 4 years of my life, what exactly my gain? What is my gain at the end of 4 years? Some few years before, we were not able to answer these questions, and that is why slowly and steadily we found that it was rapidly in traditional colleges and slowly in professional colleges also, that student strength started decreasing, or even if we get the admission number okay, but then attendance of the students is decreasing day by day. There are some students who go for a choice to go for a job. They make a choice to go for a job exactly at the time when college is there. Now, these are the issues which we have started facing. At the same time, if we consider the existence of the engineering college and the professors to which I am speaking, your competition is global now. You have to cater the requirements of the students which are to be globally answered, and that is why it is very much important to understand one of the very important components which is narrated and discussed at length in the national education policy draft or national education policy document. If we see that document, most of the time what happens that when I speak with teachers, they say that yes sir, we have gone through the document, but we have gone through the only higher education part. I request all of you, it's a document of 192 pages, worth reading right from first page to the last page, because this document is something which is going to impact the education in future for nearly 25 years. I don't know how many of us will be there in service by that time. But this national education policy is going to impact the overall system for next 25 years. And that is why it has become necessary to be very serious about it, number one. Secondly, it has to be understood that its implementation is necessary for the students. ये किसके लिए जरूरी है? ये स्टूडेंट्स के लिए जरूरी है, और इसलिए हमें इसको बहुत बारीकी से देखना है, केयरफुली इसको समझने का प्रयास हमें करना है. नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के जो डॉक्यूमेंट है उसमें उसका पर्पस लिखा गया है. क्या है पर्पस? देखिए, बहुत सुंदर है. इट्स रियली वंडरफुल टू अंडरस्टैंड. इतना सटीक, इतना उसका क्रक्स है पूरा. व्हाट इज दैट? इन एनईपी इंट्रोडक्शन पेज नंबर 3 यू फाइंड दिस सेंटेंस. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. द वर्ल्ड इज अंडरगोइंग रैपिड चेंजेस इन द नॉलेज लैंडस्केप. देखिए, ग्लोबली सब कुछ बदल रहा है, सब कुछ चेंज हो रहा है, लेकिन हमें किस चीज के बारे में सोचना है? अबाउट विच वी नीड टू थिंक अबाउट, that is knowledge landscape, because we are working in knowledge landscape and expanding its horizon. So we are working in knowledge landscape. The world is undergoing rapid changes in the knowledge landscape. Now there is a need for a skilled workforce. क्या जरूरी है अभी? क्योंकि हमारे यहां से हजारों की संख्या में स्टूडेंट्स ग्रेजुएट होकर अगर बाहर निकल रहे हैं, तो उन्हें बाहर निकलकर जो जॉब्स उनको मिलने वाले, उन जॉब्स की स्थिति आज क्या है, उनका नेचर क्या है, वहां पर रिक्वायरमेंट्स कौन सी है, और किस तरीके का स्टूडेंट या तैयार प्रोडक्ट हमारे कॉलेज से उन्हें चाहिए, ये समझकर इन सारी चीजों को इनकॉर्पोरेट करना, ये अब हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, ना कि यही हमारा काम है। कैसा वर्कफोर्स चाहिए? अभी स्किल्ड वर्कफोर्स। अब कोई भी ऐसा नहीं चलेगा जिसके मार्कशीट के ऊपर फर्स्ट क्लास लिखा हुआ है या फर्स्ट क्लास के मार्क्स उसे मिल गए हो तो वो चल जाएगा, बिल्कुल नहीं। उसको सब्जेक्ट का ज्ञान है, बिल्कुल है, लेकिन सिर्फ सब्जेक्ट से अभी काम नहीं चलेगा। ओनली सब्जेक्ट विल नॉट सफाइस द पर्पस, इट शुड बी अलाइंड विथ द स्किल्स विच आर रिलेटेड विद द सब्जेक्ट, एंड दैट इज समथिंग विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इंग्लिश सब्जेक्ट तो पढ़ते हैं हम लोग, अब आपके कॉलेज में सिर्फ फर्स्ट ईयर में पढ़ाते हैं शायद, वो भी कम्युनिकेशन, लेकिन ग्रेजुएशन जहां पर मैं पढ़ाता हूं या मैं जिस कॉलेज का प्रिंसिपल हूं, वहां पर इंग्लिश सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाते हैं, लेकिन एट द एंड ऑफ द डे द स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट एबल टू कम्युनिकेट इन इंग्लिश, देन व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ दैट सब्जेक्ट इफ द स्किल व्हिच इज एसोसिएटेड विद द सब्जेक्ट इज नॉट एक्वायर्ड बाय द स्टूडेंट, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट taught by the teacher, because it was not learned by the teacher also sometimes. हम भी नहीं सीखे ना। अभी मैं I did my post graduation in 1996, and till then, by that time, unfortunately, nothing like communication in English was there as a part of curriculum. Absolutely not. Only literature was taught, and it was assumed that the students who are learning literature will be able to speak in English. That was an assumption which was completely wrong. Now that is why the product is like that. Sometimes we find teachers in English or teachers who teach English are not able to communicate with the students in English, and they teach English through Marathi. We have seen such teachers. Why this has happened? Let us come up with some bare realities which are hovering around us. Let us understand these difficulties. Let us understand the situation. कभी कभी ऐसे हो जाता है कि मैं लेक्चर देता हूं तो सर बहुत वो शार्प बोलते हैं। शार्प बोलना शार्प नहीं है ये। आई एम जस्ट एक्सप्रेसिंग माय द रियलिटीज which are troublesome for the development of the students. And that is why now there is a need of skilled workforce, particularly involving, now subjects देखिए, particularly involving mathematics, computer science, and data science. Now, these are the three most important subjects being considered as the skilled workforce which is related with these subjects, but the other subject people and other subject students should not get disheartened. What is written is wonderful, wonderful. This particular sentence explains the national or the crux of the national education policy so wonderfully. How it is? Computer science and data science in conjunction with only these subjects will not suffice the purpose. So the professors and students of computer science may not be happy that our subject is there mentioned. No, there are something needed. Some certain things are to be attached to that. And what are they? In conjunction with multidisciplinary abilities across sciences, social sciences, and humanities. So we need a skilled workforce who will have involvement with the subjects like mathematics, computer science, data science, but also in conjunction with multidisciplinary abilities across basic sciences, social sciences, and also humanities. So these other faculties cannot be ignored. We cannot ignore them. They are the part and parcel of the development of the student, and that is why it is necessary to understand involvement of all faculties into one. What happened actually, friends? Unfortunately, we had created big walls between the faculties, and so this faculty people what they were doing was not known to the other faculty persons. And that is why these kind of walls and these kind of separations had put our students to a big loss. What was the loss? Because when this was going on, the world around our institutions started changing, and we couldn't sense those changes. And that is why the requirement of job was something different than what we taught to the students. That has made a problem. And that is why students studying earlier, now in your institute also, I know that certain things are being introduced and they are really good. Most of the people I know personally, but I'm very happy about that. But what was the situation 10 years before? 10 years before, when our students were taking education of engineering, they used to go for their personality development program outside the institution in the private classes. They joined some private classes for their competitive examinations preparations. They joined some classes, and I know, because I had been living here from years together, and that is why I know that there were computer science institutes who taught computer education apart from college to the students, and they were overflown, those institutes. Why this had happened? This had happened because we couldn't formulate these multidisciplinary abilities across different faculties for the benefit of the students. And that is why now time has come to understand it in a very wonderful manner. So what was the journey? The journey which we had undertaken, now the world has changed and skill development approach is necessary. From where it started? It started changing from 1991. That was post-Cold War era. Some of you, those who are a bit interested in history and politics and economics of the world, then you must know that it all started post-Cold War era in 1991, when really globalization has started taking place in a true sense. But now from 1991 till date, we have to understand how fast and how rapid everything changed. The total global scenario changed, and that is why time has come to revamp everything. The education patterns are to be revamped, and skill development shall be the necessary and integral part of our total process. Now, how it can be done and how it is to be done, we need to follow what kind of skills we are expected to inculcate in the students. There are 4 types of skills. There are 4 types of skills which we need to understand. One is soft skill, where we lack in a huge way. Soft skills which are necessary for the student. We are going to find out what are the soft skills which are necessary now for the personality development of the students, for his own development, and to become economic independent in future. He needs these soft skills, but unfortunately these soft skills were not in the domain of our curriculum. Where were they? They were not at all there. But now we have started introducing them, which is very necessary, but that falls under the category of skills. Number 2, subject skills. Now in engineering, you do follow the pattern of practical utility of the subject, and that is why it is quite interesting to know that you have already done this and you are implementing it. But then extensive subject skills are to be found, because now everywhere the skills are needed with related to subject. Usually these presentations I deliver to the traditional colleges, and that is why I talk about the subjects which are, I'll give examples like that. But then we need to inculcate life skills also. There are certain skills. When we say that higher education institute, not only higher education institute, but the overall education system is a man-making process. It's a human being making process. So it is expected by the citizens of this nation that when this national education policy is getting implemented, not only NEP, but before that also, it was expected that those who come out of this education system represent a very good character of the Indian citizen. So good charactered people, they must come out of our institutes, and that is why, though it may be a traditional college, though it may be a professional college, doesn't matter. The outcome of that institute, the outcome product which is coming to serve the nation, how it can be, and that is why some life skills are also needed. And finally, which is now very much necessary, entrepreneur skills. They are also needed, because we see that everybody is rushing till 3-4 years before. the condition was like that everybody is rushing for getting jobs somewhere. What about the entrepreneurship skills? What about becoming entrepreneurs? What about the startups? What about becoming businessmen and entering into businesses? What about that? So these skills were lacked by the students because we didn't train them in that way. We didn't inculcate those indicators or those verticals into our curriculum. And that is why I have told you that you, the professors of Professor Ram Meghe Institute of Technology and Research, are really benefited that you are already autonomous institute. And that is why you have got that much awaited freedom to introduce certain things which are as per the need of your students. What earlier used to happen is that you could recognize, you could identify the needs of your students, but then you and me, we were dependent on the university to do it. And that usually is a time-taking process. But here you can move very fast. You can go ahead of some institutions, and then you can put your reputation with that also. So this is the flow which we need to understand. Why this is important? We have to understand why this is important. Number one, the students will be benefited with their overall development. कोई गरीब स्टूडेंट है दोस्तों हमारे पास, वो पैसे नहीं भर पाता है, वो हमारी इंजीनियरिंग फी कैसे कैसे भर रहा है, तो उसको वो कहां से पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट और उसके ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट के लिए वो और ट्यूशन क्लासेस लगाएगा? बहुत बड़े बड़े शहरों में बहुत बड़े बड़े क्लासेस होते हैं, वो तो क्या क्या नहीं सिखाते आजकल, सारी चीजें वहां सिखाई जाती है, एक पैरेलल सिस्टम खड़ी हो गई है। अब ये सारी चीजें हमने बोलना चाहिए, डिस्कस करना ही चाहिए, डेफिनेटली कभी तो डिस्कस करेंगे ना। तो ये जो डेवलपमेंट, ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट स्टूडेंट की है, ये अगर होनी है और उसे उस कॉम्पिटेंसी के साथ अगर हमें जॉब मार्केट या एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में भेजना है, कई बिजनेसेस में भेजना है, तो उसके ओवरऑल डेवलप कहां से? आपके इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में भी ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनको उठना बैठना सिखाना पड़ता है, क्योंकि उनको सिखाने वाला कोई नहीं है, उनका दोष नहीं है, वो ऐसे सामाजिक व्यवस्था से आते हैं जहां पर ये कुछ बातें सिखाई नहीं जाती, यहां पर ये बताई नहीं जाती, और इसलिए उसके लिए हम लोग टीचर्स ही सब कुछ है. We are the last resort for the students, and that is why understand the importance of skill development, that this will give benefit to the students. And for what purpose? ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट. एक ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट जो स्टूडेंट की होती है उसमें कॉन्फिडेंस होता है, उसमें पर्सनालिटी होती है, उसको सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज होता है, उसको उस सब्जेक्ट्स के स्किल्स पता होते हैं, और वो बहुत कॉन्फिडेंटली इस खुद के जीवन को फेस कर सकता है. ऐसा इंपॉर्टेंस कब आता है उसको? तो दैट इट विल कम ओनली आफ्टर द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट पैटर्न्स इन अवर एजुकेशन. देन रिलेवेंस. इसका रिलेवेंस क्या है? अभी दिस इज रिलेवेंट विद द चेंजिंग फेज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. दुनिया जैसी बदल रही है वैसे हमें बदलना ही पड़ेगा ना, इसका रिलेवेंस है, और अभी रिलेवेंस है ये. दिस इज अ वेरी गुड टाइम, एंड आई रियली रिक्वेस्ट यू, आपने तो शुरू किया ही होगा, लेकिन बीइंग ऑटोनॉमस नाउ द होल, आपके लिए तो कोई सीमा ही नहीं है, आपके लिए तो इतना बढ़िया चांस है ये कि यू कैन पुट द रेपुटेशन ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट टू हाइट्स ऑफ समथिंग विच नेवर हैव थॉट बीन ग्रेट. इसका रेलेवेंस इसलिए कि नाउ ग्लोबली चैलेंजेस आर देयर, वी आर मूविंग ग्लोबली. टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी डेवलप हो गई है कि अब कोई सीमाएं नहीं रह गई है. नाउ वी कैन मूव ग्लोबली. कितने सारे लोग आपके भी इंस्टीट्यूट से जो पास आउट है वो किसी मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी में काम करते हैं, लेकिन अमेरिका या जापान या जर्मनी या इंग्लैंड जाने की जरूरत नहीं, यहां बैठकर काम करते. इट हैपेंस. This is the change. This is the rapid change which had happened around us. So we have to make our students competent enough to face the challenges of global competition now. अब आपकी competition अमरावती की जो local engineering colleges है उनके साथ थोड़ी है. Your competition is with global institutes, and that is why we have to see that how relevant it can be and how relevant it can be made, and what is significance, why it is significance also significant with the changing scenario of the new world and the position of India in it. One of the very important points which I am making over here. If you see the global scenario, अभी किसी ऐसा मैंने बोलना शुरू किया कि people say that probably he belongs to certain political party. Why do we talk about politics? No need. But globally, even see the scenario where India stands today. Our presence is being recognized by many developed countries now, and that is a fact. I can prove it. I can prove it by giving an example. There is no need to prove at all, because whenever you see news, whenever you see the global rating, and whenever you see the global scenario, everywhere discussion about India has started. Giving recognition to India has started. Understanding the potential of India has started. And one of the very clever and one of the very wonderful examples of it is that the setting up of the iPhone factory in India. Why Apple did that? I asked this question to myself. What was the need of Apple to establish a company here in India and start manufacturing of iPhone in India? Why? Because Apple understood and identified the great potential for iPhones in India. And that is the step, one of the steps of development. That is the flagship of development. How it could happen? Now understand, and not only in iPhone sector, everywhere, in every sector, India is making shining and blazing development. Now, the people do talk about certain things which are negative about it, and they are always there. Even if you talk about America, United States of America, you find certain negative things. But globally, the kind of position which India earned, now we have moved a step further. And in this globally changing scenario, our students need to stand very firmly, because now we are about to rule the things. We are about to rule the world and global market. And that is why it is necessary for getting revamped. Wonderful word. I really like that word. Revamping of everything. Now, is it only education sector is doing this? No. If you remember, 10 years before, the similar situation was there in front of banking sector. The banking sector started facing challenges 10 years before. And the similar kind of doldrum situation, similar kind of bewildering situation, similar kind of confusing state was there. There were few people who were not ready to accept the new things. There were few people who had accepted the new things. Then they started finding faults in it. And then ultimately it got stabilized. Now you see banking sector is altogether changed in a new form. Earlier, our task, and we knew that what was the task of banking sector? Just to keep our money, give the loans to the people and get the money back. That was the only thing. Now they have become the great financial sector's stability and financial market runners. Now you find that. Why then the IPO of State Bank of India runs in that way? What did State Bank of India thought 20 years before that this will be the condition? But now they have to do it. So every time when new things get introduced, there is a kind of resistance. The similar kind of resistance has started for national education policy also. We face that. Understand it. The people some of the people are not ready to accept it. Some of the people put forth only negative aspect of it. Some of the people say that no, it cannot be implemented. Leave those things. Be very positive about it. And the positive thing is that understand the significance. Tell them three things: why it is important, why it is relevant, and why it is significant in the global platform, on the global platform, because now we need to think globally. So that is the standard. Now, who will do it? Factors which will bring this change. Let us understand. Now, before going, now this is the thing which is very much needed. And principally, we need to understand that who will contribute in bringing this change in the education sector. Especially, we are talking about skill development. Number one factor, the first factor, teachers. You and me, we are the teachers who are responsible for that. Now we have to learn, we have to study, we have to go with the new things which are there emerged, and we have to learn them and then take these things to our students. अभी हमें students बनना पड़ेगा, अभी हमें सीखना पड़ेगा. अब वो कुछ टीचर्स होते हैं, मैं जब डीन था और बाद में भी जब मैं किसी लेक्चर्स में जाता हूँ, नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के बारे में बात करता हूँ, तो वो टीचर्स बोलते हैं कि हमने तो ये पढ़ा ही नहीं, ये किस लिए, वो पढ़ने के लिए स्टूडेंट है। ये एक्सक्यूजेस है, सब सब एक्सक्यूजेस है। अभी हमें एक्सक्यूज देने की जगह ही नहीं है। जैसा मैं हरदम कंपेयर करता हूं बैंकिंग सेक्टर और हमारे एजुकेशन सेक्टर को, तो बैंकिंग सेक्टर में भी यही हुआ ना। लेकिन आप देखिए कि बाद में उन्होंने पूरा का पूरा बदल दिया सिस्टम, पूरा का पूरा। एंड नाउ दे आर एंटरिंग इनटू द बिजनेस, दे आर एंटरिंग इनटू द बिजनेस इन अ कॉम्पिटिटिव वे। अभी कॉम्पिटिटिव स्ट्रक्चर है उनका। अभी बड़े बड़े बैंकों के मैनेजर्स हमारे यहाँ कई बार, मेरे कॉलेज में, आपके भी कॉलेज में आते होंगे, कि उनके प्रोडक्ट्स की इंफॉर्मेशन देने के लिए वो खुद आते हैं। क्यों ऐसा हुआ? Because competition grown there. Competition made them to move very fast and get acclimatized with the changes in the world. Economic भी global बन गई ना, तो इसलिए बैंकिंग सेक्टर भी चेंज होना जरूरी था। सेम हमारा हायर एजुकेशन सिस्टम भी अभी चेंज होना जरूरी है। क्यों ये एनआईआरएफ और ये सब रैंकिंग अभी काउंट किए जाने वाले, ये आगे भी होगा, धीरे धीरे ये सब होगा। जब एनआईआरएफ काउंटिंग चलता है या नैक का असेसमेंट होता है, तो अभी कुछ टीचर्स, there are some teachers, there are some students also, and there are some people who say that who are the students who are seeking admission as per the NAC accreditation. They will see, वो time आएगा ना। Let us give some time to this change, because the change doesn't occur in a single day or in a single year. It's a long process. मैंने जैसे बताया ना, this education system, this education policy is going to impact the education for next 25 years. अगर आपने वो ड्राफ्ट पढ़ा है, अगर आपने वो पॉलिसी के डॉक्यूमेंट पढ़े हैं, तो उसमें कई सारे ऐसे गोल्स लिखे हैं जो कोई 2030 तक है, कोई 2035 तक है, कोई गोल 2040 तक भी है, तो 2040 तक के गोल्स इसमें लिखे। इसका मतलब द मेकर्स ऑफ दिस पॉलिसी अंडरस्टूड दैट दिस पॉलिसी विल बी इंप्लीमेंटेड स्लोली एंड स्टडीली, एंड देन इट विल गेट सेटल्ड। अभी वो सेटल्ड हो गई। जैसे अभी हम लोग, एक एग्जांपल मैं आपको देता हूं कि ऑनलाइन मीटिंग अभी हमारे चल रही है, मैं आपको ऑनलाइन लेक्चर दे रहा हूं, ऑनलाइन हम बात कर रहे हैं। अब सोचिए 3 साल पहले, मैं आपको रिवाइंड करता हूं आपकी मेमोरी, 3 या 4 साल पहले जब कोरोना के वक्त ये सब शुरू हुआ, तो कितनी दिक्कतें आती थी। वो कनेक्ट नहीं होता था, वो आवाज आते थे, वो वीडियो दिखते थे, कभी वीडियो शुरू होते थे, कभी बंद होते थे, कभी बीच में कोई बोल जाता था, कुछ को क्या 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 होता था। अभी हमारा ये ऑनलाइन सिस्टम स्टेबल हो गया, स्टेबलाइज्ड, देयर इज नो इश्यू एट ऑल। I'm speaking to all of you. You are sitting at your place, I'm sitting at my place, and lecture will be delivered. Whatever you wish to get, you can get that. And this is called stabilization. So stabilization change का जो है वो लाने के लिए पहला फैक्टर है टीचर्स। टीचर्स नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज टू बी डन। टीचर्स ने अगर तय किया तो ये हो सकता है, और हमें करना ही है, बिकॉज वी आर पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ द सिस्टम। अगर ये नहीं होगा तो क्या होगा? ये अगर ये नहीं होगा तो हम लोग कंपटीशन से दूर हो जाएंगे, और अभी सही मायने में कंपटीशन शुरू हो गई है। नाउ देयर विल बी हेवी कंपटीशन। अभी तो हमने कंपटीशन देखी ही नहीं है। आपके प्रोफेशनल कॉलेजेस ने तो भी थोड़ा बहुत देखा है। अभी वी हैव स्टार्टेड फेसिंग, यू विल नॉट बिलीव, the teachers of some good colleges in Amravati also, अमरावती जैसे कॉलेजेस गांव में, कुछ कॉलेजेस के टीचर्स को, जो ट्रेडिशनल कॉलेजेस है, गांव गांव जाकर एडमिशंस के लिए प्रयास करने पड़ रहे हैं। अभी क्यों हो रहा है ये? व्हाई इट इज हैपनिंग? कंपटीशन हैज स्टार्टेड, बेल हैज रंग, वो बेल बज गई है। अब इसमें जो अपने इंस्टीट्यूट्स को अच्छी तरह से खड़ा नहीं करेंगे, जो अपने इंस्टीट्यूट्स में अच्छे कोर्सेज डेवलप नहीं करेंगे, हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में जो अच्छी तरह से स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोड्यूस नहीं करेंगे, और हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में जो ये एश्योरेंस नहीं देके स्टूडेंट को कि वो 3 या 4 साल जो इन्वेस्ट करने वाले हैं, उसके बाद में दे विल बी एबल टू गेट समथिंग वेरी पॉजिटिव इन देयर लाइफ, if that assurance is not received by the students will not turn to our colleges. आप ये बात लिख लीजिए, you mark this sentence of mine, that if we don't change with the time, if we don't introduce the new things in our system, and if we don't assure the students that they are going to get benefited out of the curriculum, the innovative and new curriculum which is developed by the college, we will lack the students' presence in the institutes, and that shall be the biggest challenges. That shall be the big challenge. And that is why the first factor is teachers. Second is students. We need to orient them. We need to tell them. We need to tell them that these are the things to be introduced and now you need to attend the things. Abhi kya ho raha hai? I don't know about your college because yours is an autonomous college, and that is why in your college system and situation is a little bit different. But what is happening with the all verticals of national education policy? Nothing is there. Open elective. The courses are prepared. Teachers are not ready and prepared to teach. Indian knowledge system, teachers are not ready to teach or they are not prepared to teach. And even if they are teaching, they are not teaching it the way in which they are supposed to teach. Now, skill development courses. Now, there are various verticals which are introduced. And in most of the colleges, what we see is that the portal marks are filled. This also will change, because now we have to take all these things very seriously. Industry and market, that also will play an important role. Unless we understand what is needed by the industry and market now. Unless what is needed. I'll give an example. My brother, actually my cousin, he is working, he was working as a vice president of a very big multinational company at Aurangabad, which is Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar now. So he was working as the vice president of that institute, and being vice president of a very big multinational company, he was taken on the academic council of the university, where the curriculum design was used to be discussed. In one of the meetings, when he was attending that meeting and the new curriculum was about to rolled up, he stood up and he told the August gathering that, my friends, whatever you are planning to introduce for the students of engineering, my knowledge says that now this is almost at the verge of getting outdated in the industry. देखिए क्या है ये, उसने खड़ा होकर एकेडमिक काउंसिल में बोला था यूनिवर्सिटी के कि जो आप इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहते हैं ना, वो भी ऑलमोस्ट आउटडेटेड होने की कगार पे है. You introduce here and that will get outdated. So what is the use of teaching the things to the students? So industry and market link is very much necessary, because they will tell what kind of skills are needed, what kind of skills are to be introduced, and there they will help wonderfully. And that is why this connection is important. And finally, society. The factor society is also important. That unless society understands the importance of higher education, and unless society is convinced by our efforts and attempts to develop the mindset and the personality of the students in toto so as to become economically independent, society will not keep faith on us. And it is necessary that now we have to move with respect to society, with respect to needs of society. And it is expected that higher education, with having all the facilities of research and development, must come up with the good nature of living for the students, and that is expected from our domain. And so we have to think about these things. So these are the four important factors who will bring the change about the overall system. What is the roadmap? The aim is to develop capacity. क्या roadmap है? Skills develop करना है, यानी क्या करना है? वो स्किल्स है ना, फिर भी हम वही सोचते हैं कि किसी एक सब्जेक्ट का कोई एक स्किल. नो, स्किल मींस द ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ऑल कैपेसिटीज ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग. ये स्किल से ही रिलेटेड है दोस्तों. सिर्फ उसको सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा दिया है या सिर्फ उसको स्किल्स पढ़ा दिए, उस सब्जेक्ट से रिलेटेड वो नहीं होगा. वो ह्यूमन बीइंग कैसे बनेगा, तो क्या क्या चेंज करना है हमें. एंड दिस इज नॉट फॉर ट्रेडिशनल कॉलेजेस, दिस इज फॉर ऑल. NEP is not for traditional colleges, it is for all the colleges. और इसलिए ये हमें भी लागू होता है. The aim is to develop all capacities of human being, intellectual, aesthetic, social, physical, emotional, and moral in an integrated manner. That is important. अब सोचिए, जो करिकुलम हम डिजाइन करते हैं, जिस करिकुलम की हम बात करते हैं, जिस करिकुलम को डेवलप करने का विचार हम करते हैं, उसमें ये सारी चीजें है कि नहीं, ये देखना पड़ेगा ना हमें. Because this is the roadmap which is given to you and me by NEP. And if we really want to implement it, then we have to see all these indicators, whether there is an intellectual aspect, whether there is an aesthetic aspect, whether there is a social aspect, whether there is a physical aspect, an emotional aspect, and moral aspect. These are in integrated manner, and develop well-rounded individuals that possess critical, see the word, critical 21st century capacities in various fields. That is important. Yes. Now, what do we mean by critical 21st century capacities? What does it mean? It means that, first of all, we have to understand that it's the world in which we have entered is a complex world. It's really complex. On one hand, we are making wonderful and tremendous technological advancement. At the same time, we are facing some very serious social issues. And that is why the combination of the issues which we deal with are really complex. And that is why we need a well-rounded personality and individuals. Otherwise, they crumble down very heavily and seriously and go out of the way. That is why we have to understand the structure. The structure is that the well-rounded individual. So that is why one person, one student who is taking admission in your college and getting education of engineering subject, at the same time, he must understand, if he wants to become entrepreneur, then all the aspects of becoming a businessman must be taught to him, though those may belong to commerce and management faculty. Breaking the walls between faculties and entering into a multidisciplinary domain, which is necessary for you and me, all of us. So think about it. Think about it, that these are the things which are beneficial for our students. And let us understand those skills also. What are the skills which are needed? Soft skills. Finding various soft skills for personality development. What are needed? कैसे रहते हैं हमारे यहाँ के स्टूडेंट्स? कभी कभी स्टूडेंट्स को दोष देना बिल्कुल मैं मानता ही नहीं। ये तो जिम्मेदारी हमारी है कॉलेज के, जब वो एंटर होता है। आप देखिए आपके कॉलेज में फर्स्ट ईयर में जो स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं 12वीं पास होकर, क्या रहता है उनका स्टेटस, किस तरह के वो डेवलपमेंट, किस तरह की पर्सनालिटी रहती है उनकी। और उस वक्त उनकी पर्सनालिटी ग्लोबल मार्केट और ग्लोबल चैलेंजेस को फेस करने की रहती है। डू दे होल्ड दैट कैपेसिटी? I don't think that is hold. And that is why soft skills useful for a good personality, manners and behaviors. पहली बात, manners and behaviors. If he wants to enter into, उसको सारी ये चीजें सिखानी पड़ती है। उसको बोलना कैसे, बात कैसे करना, manners किस तरह से होना, एक बहुत ही civilized manner कौन सा होता है personality development का, ये भी इंडिकेटर उसको सिखाना पड़ेगा और हमें ये करिकुलम में डालना पड़ेगा। हमें ये करिकुलम में इनकॉर्पोरेट करना पड़ेगा अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ सॉफ्ट स्किल, बिकॉज सॉफ्ट स्किल्स आर वेरी मच नेसेसरी. मैनर्स एंड बिहेवियर्स नेसेसरी. गोल सेटिंग, ही हैज टू सेट अ गोल. नाउ हाउ दैट गोल इज सेट, गोल सेटिंग के बारे में पढ़ा रहता है, लेकिन किस तरह से गोल सेट किया जाता है, शॉर्ट टर्म गोल किसे कहते हैं, मिड टर्म गोल किसे कहते हैं, लॉन्ग टर्म गोल कैसे कहते हैं, उस गोल को अचीव करने के लिए कौन सी कैपेसिटीज डेवलप करनी पड़ती है, इन सारी चीजों का ज्ञान उसे देना पड़ेगा ना. नहीं तो उसके लिए तो बाहर दुकानें खुली है, वो वहां जाता है और वहां जाके सीखता है. Why don't we provide it? So goal setting may also be there. One of the soft skills which is necessary, time management. Absolutely. Very much important. Not only for students, for you and me also. Time management makes it a positive attitude. Very important. हमारे यहाँ जो स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं ना, वो निगेटिव इसलिए है कि वो परिस्थिति बड़ी खराब है. हम जिस एरिया को बिलोंग करते हैं ना, किसान है ज्यादा से ज्यादा, और हमारे यहाँ की किसानों की खस्ता हालत जो है ना, उसके बारे में तो देश भर में चर्चा होती है. तो उनके बेटे हमारे यहाँ आ रहे हैं, तो क्या स्थिति है उनकी? फाइनेंशियली स्ट्रांग नहीं है, बिल्कुल स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है उनमें. कई सारी चीजों के लिए रुकना पड़ता है, कई सारी चीजों के लिए झगड़ना पड़ता है. और ऐसे इसमें पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड रहेगा कैसे? वो निगेटिव रहता है. तो उसे पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए उसे ट्रेनिंग देना पड़ता है, उसे सॉफ्ट स्किल सिखाने पड़ते हैं. और उस सॉफ्ट स्किल के पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड सिखाने के जो स्ट्रक्चर्स है, वो फिर टीचर्स को सीखने पड़ेंगे. ऐसा ही लेक्चर देके नहीं होगा, उसके भी कुछ इंडिकेटर्स है. पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट के स्ट्रक्चर में उसके भी कुछ साइकोलॉजिकल इंडिकेटर्स, तो वो सारे सीखने पड़ेंगे हमें। अगर हमें पता नहीं तो सीखने पड़ेंगे और उसके बाद में उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट करने पड़ेंगे। सॉफ्ट स्किल, लीडरशिप डेवलपमेंट, दैट ऑल्सो इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। अब हमारे यहाँ लीडर तो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लीडर करके ही सोचते हैं ना, छोटी छोटी गांव में भी वो लीडर हो जाता है, वो सब गमछा लगा लेता है और वो लीडर बन जाता है, तो वो लीडर नहीं होता है, वो सिर्फ लाइफ टाइम फॉलोअर रहता है वो। तो उसको लीडरशिप डेवलपमेंट क्वालिटीज किस तरह से डेवलप की जाए और किस तरह से स्ट्रक्चर्ड की जाए हमारे करिकुलम में। एंड फाइनली कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट वेयर मोस्ट ऑफ आवर स्टूडेंट्स लैक। अच्छा नॉलेज होता है बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू एक्सप्रेस देमसेल्व्स, बात नहीं कर पाते। दे नो द थिंग्स, दे नो द थिंग्स बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू एक्सप्रेस। और फिर वही हो जाता है कि वो बंबई पुणे के स्टूडेंट्स को हम वो सब ले जाओ। व्हाई डू दे टेक अवे थिंग्स फ्रॉम अस? It is because of the fact that our students lack the communication skills. Impactful communication skills are needed to be developed among the students. Now there are, अब ये सब सिखाने के मेथोडोलॉजीज है, ये कुछ ऐसा नहीं है ना कि क्लास में जमा कर लिए और सिखा लिए, ऐसा नहीं। इसकी मेथोडोलॉजीज है अच्छी तरह से, वेल डेवलप्ड एंड रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजीज है। तो उन सारी मेथोडोलॉजी, वो आज का हमारा विषय नहीं, अदरवाइज कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स के ऊपर हम लोग कर सकते हैं, लेकिन मैं ओवरऑल आपको बता रहा हूं कि ये सारे जो सॉफ्ट स्किल्स है ना, ये हम सिखाते थे। मैं ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं बोलता हूं, I don't say that we didn't teach them, but how did we teach them? इनको किस तरह से सिखाते थे हम लोग? हम इनको इस तरह से सिखाए कैजुअली। अच्छा रहना चाहिए, अच्छा बर्ताव होना चाहिए, गोल अच्छा होना चाहिए, टाइम मैनेज करना चाहिए, एटीट्यूड अच्छा होना चाहिए, लीडरशिप डेवलपमेंट होनी चाहिए, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल बहुत पावरफुल होना चाहिए। ये होना चाहिए कि कैजुअल अप्रोच में हम लोग पढ़ाते थे। बिल्कुल हमारा वो काम था, हम लोग करते थे, लेकिन अब वो ऐसा नहीं होगा। अब हमारे सॉफ्ट स्किल के कोर्सेस तैयार होंगे, शॉर्ट टर्म कोर्सेस रहेंगे, जो हमारे मैनुअल में रहेंगे, जो हमारे करिकुलम के बुक में रहेंगे, जो हमारे वेबसाइट पे रहेंगे। और इस कॉलेज में इतने सारी एडिशनल चीजें सिखाई जाती है, ये देखकर स्टूडेंट अभी एडमिशन लेंगे आने वाले दिनों में। दिस सॉफ्ट स्किल डेवलपमेंट एंड teaching process will become one of the significant areas of attraction of the students to your institute. आप ये भी बात मार्क करके लिख लीजिए, you mark it, that after 5 years only, soft skill teaching methodology or soft skill teaching process which is incorporated by your institute will become an attractive feature of admissions in your college. डेफिनेटली इट विल बी देयर, क्योंकि ये सारी चीजें स्टूडेंट्स को बाहर सीखनी पड़ती है। कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स के बहुत सारे प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूट्स चल रहे गांव में। वो क्यों है? वो इसलिए है कि जिस एस्टैब्लिश्ड एंड लेजिटिमेट प्रोसेस में वो स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं, देखिए दो शब्द मैंने यूज किए, एक तो एस्टैब्लिश्ड, आपका मेरा कॉलेज, वी आर एस्टैब्लिश्ड, एंड सेकंड लेजिटिमेट। सो एस्टैब्लिश्ड एंड लेजिटिमेट प्रोसेस में आने के बाद में भी अगर स्टूडेंट्स को उसके लाइफ के डेवलपमेंट के लिए जो चाहिए वो अगर मिलता नहीं है, तो देन ही विल गो टू दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेस वेयर ही विल बी टॉट। But why can't we incorporate these things? So soft skills make one of the important factors in the overall skill development process. Second, subject skills. Now here I'm not going to discuss many things. एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल सेट मैं आपको दूंगा, क्योंकि मैं ये जो सब्जेक्ट बोल रहा हूं ये सब ट्रेडिशनल कॉलेजेस के सब्जेक्ट है। आपके कॉलेज में जो सब्जेक्ट सिखाए जाते हैं, मोस्टली इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, उसकी जो स्किल्स है वो प्रैक्टिकल या प्रोजेक्ट्स के माध्यम से यू अकोमोडेट इट। लेकिन किस तरह से सब्जेक्ट होते हैं, सब्जेक्ट कॉम्बिनेशन, जैसे फिजिक्स एंड बैंकिंग, आपके अभी फिजिक्स है, मैथमेटिक्स है, फिजिक्स एंड बैंकिंग कैन बी अ वेरी गुड कॉम्बिनेशन, वंडरफुल कॉम्बिनेशन इट इज बिकॉज क्यों चाहिए? बिकॉज फिजिक्स का कोई एक स्टूडेंट अगर वो कोई साइंटिफिक इन्वेंशन करता है, उसका स्टार्टअप शुरू हो जाता है, वो स्टार्टअप करता है, उसके बाद में कोई मॉडल बनाता है, उसके बाद में वो उसका प्रोडक्शन करने का विचार करता है और एक छोटा सा बिजनेस शुरू करना चाहता है, देन ही नीड्स द knowledge of banking, from where he will get funds, what are the government schemes which are available for him, from where he will get subsidies for the things, how he is going to market his product, And these are the things which are to be known to the student, and that is why combination like physics and banking may also wonderful, home science and marketing, music and sound recording, sports and medicine, agriculture and geography, commerce and computer science engineers need commerce. Because if you have developed something very wonderfully, if you have made an application, if you have made a program, if you have made a product, something which you have done, it is to be marketed, and marketing की सारी strategies अब बदल गई, पूरी की पूरी strategies जो पुराने जमाने में जिस तरह से marketing होता था, now that marketing is over. Now we move with some new technology, with new dimensions are added into marketing sector. अब ये marketing sector अगर इसलिए तो ना engineering करने के बाद में MBA करते हैं most of the students. Why do they go for MBA? Once they get engineering degree, then they go for MBA because they understand the in and outs of the business administration. Why do they learn? But if we formulate certain combinations like this, like management and commerce, along with the subject skills, it will be very much beneficial, and then students won't probably go and opt for masters in business administration sometime if they start getting something. ऐसे तो कोई हर कोई स्टूडेंट नहीं होता जिसे पूरी का पूरा नॉलेज है. He needs some basic knowledge about business. Now, if that business knowledge is introduced as a combination of subject, and now being autonomous institute, you can surely do that. It is all yours now. And that is why try to think in this way, that this can be the things which can be incorporated. So identifying the skills. Now this slide belongs to the traditional colleges. I'm not going to talk about it. But now these are the subjects where like subject like commerce, where insurance awareness is needed. Subjects like history. We have learned. हमने पढ़ी थी history. लेकिन आज सिर्फ हिस्ट्री पढ़ के नहीं चलेगा ना, उसके साथ में जो स्किल एसोसिएटेड है वो है टूरिज्म. कितना बड़ा टूरिज्म डेवलप हो रहा है इंडिया में. इंडिया इज अ टूरिज्म हब इन वर्ल्ड. दुनिया का बहुत बड़ा टूरिज्म हब है इंडिया. अब वो टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री इतनी बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ रही है, वहां पर काम करने वाले लोग लगेंगे ना, तो ये टूरिज्म कहां पर पढ़ाया जाएगा? स्पेशली डेवलप्ड टूरिज्म की इंस्टीट्यूट जो है, प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूट, जहां पर लाख रुपए 2 लाख रुपए लेते हैं कोर्स के. जरूरी नहीं है ना. ट्रेडिशनल कॉलेज जहां पर है वहां पर भी कर सकते हैं, या आपका प्रोफेशनल कॉलेज है, आपके कॉलेज में भी टूरिज्म का कोर्स हो सकता है, which is related to subjects. Sometimes it may not be, sometimes it may turn up into other skills also. But tourism will really help in developing the personality, and moreover getting some job or getting some entrepreneurship freeways for the students. So that is to be seen. This is more important, entrepreneur skills for your students. Finding out various entrepreneurial for startups and businesses. What is that soft skills which are useful for a good entrepreneur? Business tactics. अब इंजीनियरिंग करने के बाद में अगर वो कोई स्टार्टअप, कोई बिजनेस, कोई छोटी मोटी फैक्ट्री या कुछ अगर शुरू करना चाहता है, तो उस बिजनेस के जो टैक्टिक्स होते हैं, ये सारे के सारे एंटरप्रेन्योरल स्किल में आते हैं, और इसका इनकॉर्पोरेशन हमारे करिकुलम में होना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि जॉब्स नहीं मिलेंगे सब लोगों को. All will not get placed some or the other way. और फिर वही होता है, इंजीनियरिंग करने के बाद में फिर वो कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन देके LIC में काम करता है. ऐसे कई सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, those who are not able to get the proper job in accordance with the knowledge which do they possess. जिस बात का नॉलेज उनके पास है ना, क्योंकि वी आर, ये बात तो बिल्कुल सही है ना, वी आर स्पेंडिंग crores of rupees for imparting knowledge to the students. इन स्टूडेंट्स को जो नॉलेज हम दे रहे हैं ना, उसके लिए इम्पार्ट जो काम है वो कितना बड़ा है, कितनी सिस्टम उसमें काम कर रही है, कितना सिस्टम यूटिलाइज हो रहा है. तो ये अगर हो रहा है तो वहां पर उसके रिजल्ट वैसे आने चाहिए ना. अगर वो रिजल्ट वैसे आते नहीं है, आई सी सम टाइम, यू नो, एंड मैं भी अमरावती में एक कॉलेज में काम करता हूँ. वी सी दैट स्टूडेंट्स टर्न अप टू, computer engineers turn up to teach just for junior colleges, and at a very meager amount of salary. Why this happens? बहुत दुख होता है सर, बहुत दुख होता है. मेरे यहाँ कोई जूनियर कॉलेज में कंप्यूटर सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाने के लिए, वो कंप्यूटर यानी जिसमें बेसिक वर्ड, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफिस और ये सारी चीजें जो हम लोग भी जानते हैं, जो अदर सब्जेक्ट के जानते हैं, उन सब्जेक्ट्स को पढ़ाने के लिए 5-5 कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर्स आते हैं इंटरव्यू देने के लिए. और वो बताने में भी बुरा लगता है कि 3,000 रुपए 4,000 रुपए महीने से काम करने के लिए तैयार है। क्यों ऐसा होता है? वाई इट हैपेंस? जो नॉलेज उन्होंने प्राप्त किया है उस नॉलेज का यूटिलाइजेशन ग्लोबली किस तरह से किया जाए, उसके लिए जो टैक्टिक्स है, उसके लिए जो चीजें चाहिए, अगर ऐसे किसी स्टूडेंट के एंटरप्रेन्योर स्किल्स अगर आते हैं, अगर इफ ही ट्रेन्स हिमसेल्फ विद दैट एंटरप्रेन्योरल कैपेसिटी, then he will be able to take risk and he will stand himself with respect to and in accordance with his knowledge. Knowledge क्या है उसका, वो कर क्या रहा है, ऐसा सब कुछ होता है. And that is why we have to think about it. Marketing skills, they are to be trained with that. Finance management, one of the most important factors in business, finance management. अब ये फाइनेंस मैनेज करने के लिए कई सारे स्कीम्स गवर्नमेंट के, उसे कुछ नहीं पता होता है. मैं बिजनेस करूंगा इतना वो बोलता है, और घर में पिताजी के पास पैसे मांगता है कि मुझे पैसे दीजिए, लेकिन हाउ इट शुड बी प्लान्ड, हाउ इट विल बी प्लान्ड, हाउ टू मेक प्रपोजल, हाउ टू सबमिट द प्रपोजल, हाउ टू गेट द अमाउंट फ्रॉम बैंक, हाउ टू गेट अमाउंट फ्रॉम डिफरेंट स्कीम्स, हाउ टू गेट सब्सिडी, हाउ टू रिड्यूस द कॉस्ट, हाउ टू गो फॉर गुड प्रॉफिट, ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर टू बी प्लान्ड इन अ वंडरफुल मैनर. अब ये कहाँ सिखाया जाता है सर? मोरिल सर, ये सिखाया जाता है कॉमर्स एंड मैनेजमेंट फैकल्टी में. मैं वही बोल रहा हूं, वो फैकल्टी के साथ में जो दीवार है ना, उसको तोड़ दिया, उसको तोड़ देंगे. Just blow away that wall and then find out certain very good things from commerce and management faculty and introduce them in your curriculum. Introduce them wonderfully in your curriculum. Building team. कितनी बढ़िया बात है सर. किसी को बिजनेस अगर शुरू करना है, किसी को कोई दुकान शुरू करनी है, किसी को अगर कोई छोटा मोटा स्ट्रक्चर शुरू करना है, तो टीम बिल्ड करनी पड़ती है. तो वो टीम बिल्ड करने का जो स्किल है ना, वो कहाँ सीखेगा? उसको इस मॉड्यूल में सिखाया जाता है. सो लेट अस इंट्रोड्यूस दीज एंटरप्रेन्योरल स्किल्स एंड इंट्रोड्यूस दीज मॉडल्स, क्योंकि दीज मॉडल्स दे पुट they make it in a way risk management. They make it in a way that the student will be competent enough to own a business, to run a business, to lead a business. रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, किसी भी बिजनेस में रिस्क होती है, उस रिस्क को मिनिमाइज कैसे किया जाता है, अगर रिस्क है तो उसको मैनेज कैसे किया जाता है, ये कहां सिखाया जाएगा? These are all the fundamentals of commerce and management faculty, but they can be thought to be introduced in your institute also. And finally, personality development, very much important, again related to that soft skill. A business person, a businessman, how his or her पर्सनैलिटी शुड बी. कैसे भी आएगा, कैसे भी जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा. सो वी हैव टू थिंक अबाउट दीज एंटरप्रेन्योरल स्किल्स ऑल्सो. लाइफ स्किल्स आर ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट. लाइफ स्किल्स आर नेसेसरी. हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को लाइफ स्किल्स भी नहीं है, किस तरह से एक लाइफ जिया जाता है, किस तरह से लाइफ में स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं, और उन स्ट्रक्चर्स को फॉर्मुलेट करने के लिए एक सक्सेसफुल ह्यूमन बीइंग करके रहने के लिए, जिंदा रहने के लिए, या सक्सेस को पार करने के लिए क्या क्या लगता है. द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग विच आई फील दोस्तों, इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप. वी डोंट नो. अब ये तो प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ ट्रेडिशनल कॉलेज का नहीं है, ये तो आपके कॉलेज का भी प्रॉब्लम है. देर इज नो फॉर्मुलेशन ऑफ इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशंस. इस ग्रुप में जिन टीचर्स के साथ मैं बात कर रहा हूं, अगर आपकी एज 40 के ऊपर है, इफ यू बिलोंग टू एज 40 एंड मोर, देन यू नो हाउ रिलेशनशिप्स आर डेवलप्ड, because that was taught to you and me with family structure, and that was the nature of society also. But now the very important thing which is missed by the recent generation of the students, which you also felt and I am also feeling, that they don't know how to formulate interpersonal relationships. We need to teach them, and there are methods. ये इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशंस का एक पूरा का पूरा 3 घंटे का सेशन मैं लेता हूं कई जगह. I go and take the session that how interpersonal relations are to be developed. और ये वो सेशन खत्म होने के बाद, सेशन शुरू होता जब होता है, तो मेनी ऑफ द पीपल, उसमें कई ओल्ड एज के भी पीपल लोग रहते हैं, तो वो बोलते कि ये क्या सीखने की बात है क्या, इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशंस, ये तो हमें पता है. जब वो सेशन खत्म होता है 3 घंटे का, उसके बाद में उनको ये पता चलता है कि नहीं नहीं, वो वही फिर एक्सेप्ट करते कि नहीं नहीं, ये कई सारी चीजें हमें पता ही नहीं थी, मालूम थी लेकिन हम उसको इंप्लीमेंट नहीं करते थे, हमारी लाइफ का वो पार्ट नहीं थी. हमें मालूम सब था, मालूम सब रहता है, इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए प्रॉब्लम आते हैं। तो इन सारी चीजों को हम अगर स्टूडेंट्स को बताते हैं, इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशंस, हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस, हाउ इंपॉर्टेंट इट इज, हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस। जस्ट इफ अगर आपके कॉलेज में अगर हेल्थ और हाइजीन का अगर कोई कैंप होता है, तो देखिए आप, स्पेशली गर्ल स्टूडेंट्स, एज आई बिलोंग टू महिला महाविद्यालय, आई नो इट वेरी वेल। गर्ल स्टूडेंट्स, उनका हीमोग्लोबिन देखिए कितना है, तो उनकी हेल्थ देखिए कैसी है, तो इट इज टू बी टॉट, इट इज टू बी इनकॉर्पोरेटेड, इट इज टू बी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड। और इन सारी चीजों को जब इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे, देन द स्टूडेंट्स विल फील दैट माय कॉलेज इज लुकिंग फॉर माय ओवरऑल पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट। मेरे कॉलेज में मेरे जिंदगी के बारे में सोचा जाता है, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज नीडेड। मेरा कॉलेज मुझे सिर्फ इतना पढ़ाता है, मेरा कॉलेज सिर्फ मुझे ये सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ाता है, मेरा कॉलेज सिर्फ मुझे ये इतनी चीज, छोटी सी चीज नहीं, मेरा कॉलेज मेरे जिंदगी के बारे में सोचता है, मेरे टीचर्स मेरे जिंदगी के बारे में सोचते हैं, और मैं जिंदगी में क्या करूं क्या न करूं, ये पूरा का पूरा जिम्मा कॉलेज ने और कॉलेज के टीचर्स ने लिया हुआ है। अगर ये फीलिंग आता है ना, तो देन वी आर नियरिंग टू द गोल्स ऑफ नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी। क्योंकि वही है ना, हमारा जो सिस्टम हमारे यहाँ था ना, वो जो लॉर्ड मैकॉले ने तैयार किया था ना, वो यही था। और अभी कोई लॉर्ड मैकॉले का के बारे में जब हम सोचते हैं, तो उसको कोई प्रूव करने की जरूरत नहीं रही है। अभी वेबसाइट पे और गूगल पे लॉर्ड मैकॉले ने जो कम्युनिकेशन किया था उसके बॉसेस के साथ में, इंग्लैंड में जो बैठे थे उनके साथ में जो कम्युनिकेशन किया था, वो सारा का सारा अवेलेबल है। एक बार पढ़ेंगे तो हम उसको, कि किस तरह से यहाँ की एजुकेशन सिस्टम को क्रम्बल करना है, यहाँ के एजुकेशन सिस्टम को पैरालाइज करना है, और किस तरह से यहाँ के मीडियोकर उस सिस्टम से बाहर आना चाहिए। दैट वाज अ 100% प्लान ऑफ ब्रिटिशर्स, एंड विच प्रूव्ड वेरी मच सक्सेसफुल इन अवर नेशन। सक्सेसफुल हुआ वो प्लान। कैसे मीडियोकर स्ट्रक्चर्स बाहर आने चाहिए, मीडियोकर स्टूडेंट्स बाहर आने चाहिए, ये दैट वाज द रिक्वायरमेंट। We have to change it, and that is why this change will come like this। ये गुरुकुल सिस्टम जो थी ना हमारे यहाँ, ये गुरुकुल पद्धति की तरफ हम जा रहे हैं, और ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। क्यों ये गुरुकुल पद्धति का विचार हम कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि उस गुरुकुल में वो गुरु जो था, वो स्टूडेंट के ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट का विचार करता था। वो लकड़ियां फोड़ना भी सिखाता था, वो तीरंदाजी भी सिखाता था, वो शिकार करना भी सिखाता था, और वो ज्ञान भी देता था, वो वेद भी पढ़ाता था, वो सारी सारी चीजें पढ़ाते थे। एवरीथिंग इन वन, अंडर वन रूफ। And that was the successful notion of the education system and pattern in our nation. Britishers made us to forget, but let us come forward. Let us think about these skills, and in that happiness index. क्यों? How to be happy need to be taught. Why? In India? Yes, in India. Happiness index कितना कम है हमारा। दुनिया के कंपैरिजन में हमारा हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स 100 के ऊपर है। हमारा हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स क्यों ऐसा है? व्हाई इट इज देयर? वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड। अब हम में से कोई एक टीचर इसकी पढ़ाई करेगा, हम में से कोई एक टीचर इसके बारे में मेथोडिकल जो स्ट्रक्चर्स है वो ध्यान में लाएगा। कैसे हैप्पीनेस को हमारे जीवन में धीरे धीरे करके लाना पड़ता है, ये सीखेगा। ही विल लर्न इट, एंड देन ही विल इंट्रोड्यूस वन सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स अबाउट हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स, एंड स्टूडेंट्स विल बी हैप्पी। So we have to be vibrant now. Now this word also I like really much. Vibrant. Vibrant way of teaching. जितना है उतना पढ़ा के खत्म कर दिया, लिख लिया, प्रिंसिपल के सिग्नेचर हो गए और हो गया, बिल्कुल नहीं। I am 100% happy that your college is autonomous college. ये सिर्फ तभी हो सकता है जब कॉलेज ऑटोनॉमस है। ये तभी हो सकता है जब हमें ऑटोनॉमी है, हमारे चाहे जो चाहे वो कोर्सेस इंट्रोड्यूस करने की ऑटोनॉमी जिसे चाहिए, ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर आपके पास है। पैट्रियोटिज्म, एब्सोल्युटली patriotism to be inculcated and developed among the students, well informed and stress management। अब ये भी विषय ऐसा है, I belong to psychology field, you know, and that is why I know what kind of stresses are there for the students nowadays। कितना स्ट्रेस है। आपके ही इंजीनियरिंग का एजुकेशन लेने वाले जो वहां कोटा में जाते हैं, पिछले 3 साल में कोटा में more than 35 students have committed suicide। कहाँ के हैं वो स्टूडेंट्स? इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस के स्टूडेंट्स या टॉप इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में एडमिशन लेना चाहते हैं, दुनिया के बेहतरीन या भारत के सबसे बेहतरीन इंस्टीट्यूट में एडमिशन लेने के लिए गए हुए 12वीं पास या 11वीं 12वीं में पढ़ने वाले स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो सारे के सारे. What they are lacking? They are lacking stress management. They cannot bear this burden and stress of that study, and that is why कितना दुख हो रहा है ना ये सुनकर. In last 2 to 3 years, more than 35 students in Kota have committed suicide, and they have written in their suicide note that I am not able to bear the burden or stress of the studies, and that is why I am finishing my life. लगता नहीं दोस्तों कि स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट पढ़ाना जरूरी है स्टूडेंट्स को. ये आगे चलकर छोटे छोटे प्रॉब्लम्स के बाद में और प्रॉब्लम्स को फेस न करने की उनकी क्षमता न होने की वजह से अगर उन्होंने खुदकुशियां कर ली और खुद को खत्म कर लिया, अपनी जिंदगी खत्म कर ली, तो जिम्मेदार कौन है इसके लिए? मैं अपने आप को जिम्मेदार नहीं मानता, ना आपको मानता हूं, लेकिन ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि इन चीजों को सिखाया जाए. हम उसके साथ में जिंदगी भर नहीं रह सकते. उसके प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने के लिए हम उसको पूरी तरह से मदद नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन कम से कम उसे ट्रेनिंग तो दे सकते हैं कि अगर स्ट्रेस आता है, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट का भी पूरा का पूरा स्ट्रक्चर है उसका. मैंने जैसे बताया, आई डिड मास्टर्स इन साइकोथेरेपी एंड काउंसलिंग, एंड आई हैव लर्न दैट हाउ स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स आर डेवलप्ड एंड रिसर्च्ड. ऐसा ही नहीं है किसी को बिठा दिया और सिखा दिया और बता दिया और समझा दिया. नो, it's a very meticulous and studious process to give stress management lessons. But that also can be taken up by some of the teachers, and then stress management can also be one of the very important ingredients of our curriculum. इतना डाइवर्सिफाइड और वाइब्रेंट करिकुलम होना चाहिए जिसमें स्किल्स ही स्किल्स हो, और स्किल्स सिर्फ सब्जेक्ट से रिलेटेड नहीं, हाथ में टूल्स लेके काम करने का ही स्किल नहीं. उन टूल्स के माध्यम से काम खत्म करने के बाद में जब वो घर जाएगा तो उसका घर में भी हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स अच्छा होना चाहिए. वो जो हैप्पी बनने का टूल है ना, वो भी उसको सिखाना जरूरी है. सो ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट विल मेक the things in a wonderful manner, and that is why academic autonomy is the best part of it. Developing new courses as per the local needs of the students. आप देखिए अपने कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट्स का अभ्यास कीजिए, स्टडी देयर नेचर, स्टडी व्हाट दे नीड एक्चुअली, और फॉर व्हाट पर्पस दे आर डिपेंडिंग ऑन द आउटसाइड सिस्टम. कौन सी चीजें हैं जिसके लिए वो जरूरी है उनके लिए. एक एग्जाम्पल मैं बताता हूँ, कितनी छोटी छोटी चीजें रहती है. फाइनल ईयर का एक टीचर मेरे पास आए थे जो मराठी लिटरेचर पढ़ाते हैं, और वो फाइनल ईयर में पढ़ाते हैं. तो वो मेरे पास आए कंप्लेन करते हुए. तो वो बोले कि सर मैं मराठी लिटरेचर में कई सारी अच्छी अच्छी चीजें अभी सिखा रहा हूँ, लेकिन स्टूडेंट जो है वो मराठी में ज्यादा बात नहीं कर पाते, उनकी लैंग्वेज इतनी खराब है, कैसा करेंगे. मैंने उस टीचर को सीधा एक सवाल पूछा, जिम्मेदार कौन है? वो बोले वो जूनियर कॉलेज में जो पढ़ाते हैं वो जिम्मेदार है. फिर उसके बाद में मैंने बोला वो जूनियर कॉलेज के टीचर्स को जाके पूछो, वो बोलेंगे स्कूल में जो पढ़ाते हैं वो जिम्मेदार है. क्या करेंगी वो लड़की, वो बच्ची? मेरे कॉलेज में फाइनल ईयर में आने वाली एक बच्ची जिसके बारे में मेरे वो टीचर बोल रहे थे, वो गांव के बाजू में रहने वाली झोपड़पट्टी में रहती है, जहां से जाते जाते टाइम से लेके वापस आने तक वो सिर्फ गालियां सुनती है. कहां से लैंग्वेज उसके कान पे गिरेगी? From where she will listen the wonderful language and the fluent language of floral language, अच्छे अच्छे शब्दों वाली भाषा वो सुनी नहीं है ना बचपन से, तो उसकी भाषा वैसी है. और वो क्लास में बैठी है, अब बोलिए क्या करना है? तो उसको कोसना है, उसको बोलना है कि तुझे भाषा आती नहीं है, उसको डांटना है? नहीं. We need to be sympathetic. Not only sympathy, we need to show empathy about them. इंग्लिश के ये दो अलग अलग शब्द हैं. Not sympathy, show empathy. And then we will start understanding the importance of developing all wonderful skills among our students. We will understand the importance of it. That will really take us to such a situation where we will find our students making great things in their life. Friends, This is in all what I wanted to talk about skill development. I have talked about certain important subject combinations. I have talked about different types of skills. Some of them are entrepreneurial skills, some of them are subject skills, some of them are soft skills, and some of them are life skills also. And I'm very happy that I'm speaking with the teachers of such an institute which has got autonomy, because I think, rather I believe that autonomy is the key word for all this new development. Autonomy provides you a kind of right, a kind of advantage to look for what is exactly needed by the students, to look for what is to be provided to the students to make them competent enough to face the global challenges, and also to become competent enough to become economically independent in their long run of life. It is also become important to make our students competent enough to face the small stresses of life and lead a very successful and happy life with their family, and become very strong patriotic citizens of this nation to lead this nation from front and globally become and take our nation to the Vishwaguru position. That also can be done through all these skill component which is introduced and very powerfully made to happen in national education policy. So that is why I request all of you that think about all the different aspects of skill development which I have discussed, narrated. I have suggested certain things. I hope that, and I know that some of the components you have already introduced, but don't look for just the local issues. Look for global scenario also at the same time. Look for local issues and provide them the local needs also to be fulfilled. At the same time, they must get something to compete with global institutes and global students who are there in their competition. So find out the utility of the skill components in your curriculum, and then develop your institute in such a way that it should get the ranking nationally and internationally also, and that well acclaimed will provide you a kind of great satisfaction to be part of such a wonderful institute, and also part of this discussion on skill development component in national education policy. I also request all of you at the end that do read sometime the whole document of national education policy of 192 pages, right from page 1 to page last, right from first page to the last page. Read the school education also. What is going to be changed? What are the impending changes and how they are going to impact our higher education, and especially the professional colleges like you, like yours. That is to be seen carefully and make it happen wonderfully. All the best for your all future ventures. And I feel and I know and I hope that this particular discussion would help you in taking your institute to the next level of excellence. Thank you so much. If anybody wants to discuss, comment, ask question, you are welcome.
Sorry, sir. Shall we conclude, if you could permit?
Yes, if there are no questions, then you can conclude.
Yes, sir, yes. So on behalf of Malvi Mission Teacher Training Centers at Garge Baba Amravati University and Professor Ram Meghe Institute of Technology and Research, I extend my sincere thanks to Professor Mohurin sir for being with us, enlighten us, and gives us a roadmap towards the implementation of this national education policy, the specific component of the skill developments. So I once again thankful to you, and I also extend my sincere thanks to all the participants for their patience listening and active participation during the discussion. Thank you, sir. And with the kind consent of Professor Mohurin sir, I would like to declare that this session will be over. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone.